Live from the studios of KYMB Television in Monterey, California, it's Monterey on Tonight with Gary and Jules. 4 hours of your favorite classic music videos from yesterday and today, telephone and in-studio guests, and a few surprises along the way. And now, here are your hosts, Gary and Jules.
Well, here we are once again. It's Saturday night, and that means it's Monterey on Tonight. I'm Gary.
I'm Jules.
And we're going to be here for the next 4 hours. Can you believe it? Call your friends and tell them to tune in. Comcast Channel 19. We're here every Saturday night from 8 to midnight playing classic music videos from Cool TV and some in-studio guests.
And we have some really exciting in-studio guests tonight.
We sure do. So
you may have had a peek at it because the Monterey Herald has been kind enough to print our guests in the Friday paper. So if you're looking for a peek into what's coming up on Saturday, you can check the Monterey Herald or go to our website at KYMB TV.
And tonight, as always, we'll be asking you in our audience to send in some emails to us so that we can give things away. We're going to put your names in the little fishbowl that we have here in the studio.
And we have several things, Gary, to give away tonight.
We do. Tonight is like crazy
It
night.
is. We have a $25 gift certificate for First Impression Party and print. And then we also have a couple of tickets to Lighthouse Cinemas in Pacific Grove. And we also have some neat food giveaways to give away as well. Yep. So.
And as always, the first hour of every Saturday night is brought to you by Me and Ed's Pizza at the corner of Broadway and Fremont, right in Seaside, California. We'll be ordering our pizza during the next video, and then hopefully tonight, in about 15 or 20 minutes, Beth will be coming in with the...
Or Gwen.
Gwen.
You're so excited about our guests, Gary.
That's right. One of our guests is Beth. Gwen will be coming in with our pizza, and we'll share that with our studio audience.
But Beth might enjoy having some, though.
Yeah.
It's, I think, her and Tom.
Gwen, Beth.
As a matter of fact, who we're referring to is Tom Campbell and Beth, and they are with Tom Campbell Productions, HD Productions, a world-class marine cinematographer here in our studio tonight.
And their videos show on our Coastal Television Network.
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's
ready?
get started.
Okay.
Last week we were able to kick off our show with Shania Twain, and we had another request for more Shania music, so...
I think, was that your request?
That was my request.
Terry always picks the first song.
So we went into the Shania Twain DVD file and pulled out one, and this is a fun video that she did. It's called That Don't Impress Me Much. Let's kick it off tonight with Shania Twain.
Have fun.
Ah, Shania, I sure love that video.
That was fun. That was a good choice, Gary.
That was a good choice?
Yeah, you always have excellent choices for our opening song.
Oh, well, thank you.
We want to say hello to all of our friends who are watching tonight. We had a lot of emails come in and phone calls saying that they'd be watching. We want to thank everyone.
Are you going to mention them by name?
Well, we can mention, I think Doug's on his way over. We've got Gary, and we've got Joyce, and we've got Captain Benz and his wife, Karen.
Yeah. Over at the American Tin Cannery.
Yeah, Tina.
We went over to see them last
And
week.
Michael, who actually at the end of the last show challenged all of the viewers in Santa Cruz County to email us and enter the contest. And it was right at the end of the show. So we're going to renew that challenge.
We're building up a little bit of a audience.
We had such a nice time getting everyone together for our KYMB get-together a couple of weeks ago at Me and Ed's. And who is our sponsor this hour? As a matter of fact, we should talk about what they've got going on.
What's going on at Me and Ed's?
Yes, what's going on at Me and Ed's. $10, 3-topping pizza. If you've not had it, you absolutely have to have it. As my daughter says, this is not dorm room pizza.
And we're going to be calling over to talk with Akram tonight. He was supposed to be live in the studio, but he's too busy. Can you believe that? He's too busy to leave the store.
Well, he's got to mind his business.
He's got to mind the business. Anyway.
We'll shoot for next week. If not, we're going to have to send the camera over.
No, you know what? We'll just get a poster and show his picture on a poster.
Okay.
Like, this is Akram.
Okay, that sounds great.
Anyway, back to the music. Let's go with Heart now. And this is one from, how far back did this video go?
This was in the this was in the 80s, but it really didn't go into the exact date on the site that I visited to. But you know, you've played and picked several of the Heart songs to open with. This
did.
particular one is
Who
Will You Run To?
Who Will You Run To?
Do you remember the other one that you picked, that you opened with?
I can't.
Dave? Anybody?
No.
Do you at home? We'll
Well,
dig it out.
Do you
We'll
want
dig it
to
out.
make it a contest?
Yeah. What other Heart songs have we played on our Monterey On Tonight show?
Go to our website, kymbtv.com, and if you go to the main website, there's a spot there that you can just email us. Very simple. Jules designed that so you didn't have to type in an email address.
It's just a feedback form, and last week we had, everyone's came through. There was a couple of ones that said, are you getting this? And they absolutely came through. So
Yeah, we'd like to hear from you. We really would. Let us know what you think of the show, and maybe you have a video that we may have in our Cool TV library, and we'll dig it out and put it on for you.
Absolutely, we like requests.
We want viewer feedback, as they say. Anyway, it's Monterey On Tonight. We're here every Saturday night from 8 to midnight with in-studio guests playing the greatest classic music videos from yesteryear.
And now we have Heart, Who Will You Run To, with sisters Nancy and Ann.
Okay, here we go.
Have fun.
And that was Heart, and that's one of your favorites, right?
No, it's one of yours.
No,
I wasn't crazy about Heart.
Really?
No, I never told you that, though. See, there's so much we don't discuss until we get to the show.
You
It's
know,
opened a whole new dimension in our relationship.
That's like big time TV, because Regis and Kelly, they don't talk to each other before the show. Did you guys know that in the mornings? They go to the studio and they get to their dressing rooms and get ready to do their show.
You watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that's
likes
where I'm
the-
getting ideas for us.
Oh, and he likes The View, too, and I never watch any of that chitter-chatter TV. Anyway. Okay, well, Heart, I know, is very, very popular with a lot of our viewers. I
Yes.
just wasn't a fan of Heart. I
That's
was
too
more the
bad.
Air Supply, Daryl Hall, John Oates.
We're going to have some Hall & Oates, aren't we, tonight?
I believe so. Absolutely. Shall I see if Akram's on the phone?
Akram, are you on the phone?
No, I before we came back from the song, I was on the phone. No, he's not. They dropped me. I'm going to call him.
Yeah, well, do that.
And
And
get
let's
them-
find out what's going on at Me and Ed's tonight.
Yep, they're supposed to be very busy. So you want to let the viewers know what we did this week?
I'm going to let you do that.
We went to Fresno.
I don't want to talk about Fresno. I'm not interested in telling our viewers about Fresno.
Hi, Akram. It's Juliana. Okay, we want to put you on the phone. How come it's not going?
You need
Can
to
you
hang
hear
it
me?
up and hit speaker.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Hi, Akram. How
Hi,
are you?
guys. How are you?
Good, good. How's
How's the
everything
evening?
tonight?
Oh, beautiful night. Beautiful. It's
Good.
really
Glad to hear it.
a lot of fun. We had a lot of new faces from town this weekend, and we got lucky. Got a lot of bikers in the area, I guess. And
Well, great.
It was
Great.
a lot of fun. We had a good night. Very good night.
Good. Is our pizza on its way?
It's already gone. It's going on its way. Should be there in just a few minutes.
Who's bringing it over
I
tonight?
believe it's Levi.
Levi.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
For a change, he's a good guy. He'll
does
get there.
Levi want to be on TV?
I wanted to so bad. I got really busy and I couldn't leave. This
Okay.
is 2 weeks on a row, and but I'm gonna make sure next week for sure I'll take the evening off so I can be with you guys.
You have to do that. You have to get someone in to
Absolutely.
take your place so we can put you on TV.
Absolutely.
We're getting all kinds of requests.
I know.
People want to see what Akram looks like.
I know.
We tell them,
I know. I'm trying to look what I look like myself.
we tell them to go into Me and Ed so they can see you.
We love to see them here. We love to see all you guys here all the time, and I love to see everybody. It's just home for me, I guess.
And Akram, you're still doing $10 3-topping pizzas, right?
Yes, sir. We're still doing it. It's a beautiful deal. A lot of people loves it, and they usually order by double at the time. And it is a great pizza for the quality and what's on it and the quickness and all what we're working on. It's an awesome deal. Awesome deal. People
Great,
love
great.
it so much, and we're trying to help out, and it's a great thing.
Okay, Akram, can you please remind me? Me and Ed's has been in business for 58 years. Is that correct?
50 years.
Oh, 50 years. And how
50
many
years.
locations?
We're mostly down in the valley.
You're over 50 locations though, aren't you?
No, we're over 50. We have about 105. This is location 105.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's double what I was thinking.
Yes, this is
Wow.
location 105.
Well, there's definitely a reason why you've done so well. So we want to thank you for your support with our Monterey on Tonight show.
Absolutely.
And we'll
we
look
love
forward
you
to
guys,
coming in and seeing you
I
this
can't
week.
wait. By the way, I'm turning on my cable this coming week, and we're gonna be turning all the 5 television to watch your show here at the store.
All right.
Absolutely. We can wait to do this and listen to all the beautiful music you guys put on, and we'll hear you and see you in the same time.
You're great.
That's
Thank you.
great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, we've got the number on the screen, 831-899-0101. Dave's going to punch it up so our viewers can
Call over to
Call
me.
over to-
Call over to me and Ed's and order your
Anytime you get a free delivery, we'll get it there for you, and we
free
just let you
delivery
taste our
anywhere
beautiful pizza.
on the Monterey, Pacific Grove,
All
Seaside,
down to,
Sand City.
We'll go all the way to Marina, to Fort Ord, anywhere you want us to go, we'll go.
Okay.
And we please people with nice, or tease them with a nice, beautiful pizza.
Call right now and order your pizza, 899-0101, me and Ed's.
mention KYMB when
Yeah,
you
make
order.
sure you tell Akram that you saw it here on the Monterey on Tonight show.
And if you'd like to go in, they're at Broadway and Fremont.
And they're open till 11 o'clock tonight, right, Akram?
Absolutely, we're here till midnight. If we get a big group come in and surprise us like Saturday, we were here almost till 12:30 in the evening. So
Oh, wonderful.
yes, it's fun. It's fun. I like it.
All right, well, thank you,
Thank
and
you.
we'll
Thank you guys. You have a
hopefully
wonderful
we will
evening,
see
and
you.
we'll see you soon.
Hopefully, Akram will see you here next week in the studio.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
He is the greatest.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I can't wait for our guests to smell and see this
And he
incredible
makes
pizza.
incredible pizza. It really is.
Even if they've had dinner already, I
and
think
when the
they're gonna
pizza
be
gets here,
tempted.
we always say we wish we had smell-o-vision so you guys could smell the pizza at home. Okay, let's get back to the music. What do we have coming up?
The Motels.
The Motels.
Oh, wait
yeah.
a minute. No, is it Jesse's Girl? Dave, which one is it?
The Motels.
Motels.
Okay, so the
Okay.
Motels coming up, and
Suddenly,
last summer. This was released as a 7-inch single in September 1983. What's that mean, a 7-inch single?
Well, you're the one that knows these disc size. Is it
Um,
7?
a 7-inch single.
What were the discs, the records?
Maybe it was a 45. Was that a 45 way back then? Yeah, but it's probably before CDs.
Records were
wasn't
still
it,
around,
Catherine?
right? 1983?
Yeah, records were still around, so it must have been a 45 record. And the song reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Top Tracks chart and number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1983. Lead singer Martha Davis has said in various radio interviews that the song was written while reflecting on her life and how you know summer is ending when you hear the ice cream truck go by for the last time and you know he won't be back for a while.
I remember those days.
So
I remember-
here it
and then-
is, the Motels.
The Motels, and then when we come back, we'll have our special guests.
Okay, suddenly last summer.
That paused,
that
didn't
just
it?
kind of paused. I guess it was the ice cream truck and the summer was over. That was the Motels, the second video that we played. The first video, actually, we got them a little out of sequence, was...
Y&T Summertime Girls.
Oh, you had that memorized.
I did because I wrote the
Y&T
list.
Summertime Girls. And there were a lot of bikinis there on the beach.
I know. That's why I was looking for Rick Springfield. I like his song, which I think Dave is queuing it up, so
Dave is
that
gonna
we
get Rick-
do not want to miss that song.
Rick Springfield.
That was a
Video
fun
is
one.
coming up next. Call your friends. Anyway, why don't you show
Our
the
pizza came.
There is the pizza
And we have
from
hungry people in our
Me
studio.
and Ed's. Look at that. Now tonight we have pepperoni
go.
and mushroom, and we have some
Pepperoni and
olives,
olive.
pepperoni and olives. Do we have any peppers in there?
Peppers, we have them in the bag.
Peppers in the bag. Oh,
Are you talking about like jalapeno peppers?
Yes, jalapeno
Yeah,
peppers.
they can actually, if you'd like to have jalapeno peppers, they have red pepper pods, Parmesan cheese. And you know, if you actually go in there, they have during the week a salad bar buffet, which is great because they have pizzas right on the salad bar. And then Wednesdays is their Wacky Wednesday special. So any day of the week special you can order on Wednesday.
And you know what I really like the
What?
most about Me and Ed's?
What? Do tell.
The jukebox.
Oh, yes, that's fun.
How many places can you go in where there's a jukebox
I
playing?
don't know. And
Not
play
too
all the
many.
music that you want to hear.
That's right. And the music goes way back to like the 80s, like we're playing here on Monterey on Tonight.
Sounds great.
If you just happen to tune in, we're here every Saturday night from 8 to midnight playing music videos from the classic days, the MTV days.
And then in a couple of months, we'll move on to another era. So that'll
Yeah.
be fun. But we are going to check with Dave now. Do we have Jesse's
Rick-
girl?
yeah,
Yep.
Jesse's
We got
girl
the
is-
thumbs up sign.
Okay, so Jesse's Girl is next.
This is 1981.
1981 video for you on Monterey on Tonight. So here it is.
And it was at number one when
It was.
MTV launched on August 1st, 1981. This was the number one song when MTV launched.
Wow.
So anyway, enjoy it, and then we will
We'll be back with
be
our
back.
guests.
Thanks.
Rick Springfield and guests. They even had their dog in there. Did you see that? Right at the end. Anyway, I want to welcome Tom Campbell and his assistant Beth to our show. Welcome.
Good to be here, Gary. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to our little show tonight. And thank you so much for the great video that you're providing us for our Coastal Television Network. Tom is a world-class professional marine cinematographer and wildlife photographer. And you guys live down in Santa Barbara, you told us, but you're also spending some time in New Zealand.
We are. We live part-time in New Zealand as well.
And that sounds like a great place to live. You were sharing a little of that story with us, and I think Jules and I want to take a trip to New Zealand after you were telling us about all the great things.
Yeah, it's a very special place.
You're spending now what, 3 months
About 3 months a year.
in New Zealand?
Yeah, we stay in New Zealand. We try to
For
time
now.
it when the winters come to Santa Barbara. We can be in New Zealand, and there's lots of great diving over there and a lot of work that we can do over there. So there's plenty to keep us occupied.
What got you originally, Tom, into underwater photography? How did that all start?
You know, I suspect that if you were to ask that question of almost anybody my age, they would tell you that they started off watching the Sea Hunt series and the early Cousteau adventure movies. But Lloyd Bridges and the Sea Hunt thing was all about adventure underwater. And I lived up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. No ocean, cold water, ice on the lakes in the wintertime, and that's where I started diving.
So the Sea Hunt series with Lloyd Bridges was really kind of the show that got you interested in underwater diving.
I'd have to say that was probably the catalyst.
And do you know that we show that program here on our channel
I just heard that.
overnights? It's part of the This TV network from MGM. So the series is on. It's on in the wee hours of the morning, but we'll have to get you a DVD so that you can go back in time and
Yeah.
and
That was a great service to.
Relive those adventures.
Yeah, I mean, it really was a great service for getting people involved in the ocean world. And even though it may not have been meant for that at the time, it had that effect on a lot of people.
And Tom, you've worked for BBC, Time Life Books, National Geographic, Continental Airlines, New York and LA Times Magazine, the Discovery Channel. You've actually worked for almost all of the networks doing your underwater cinematography.
It's actually been a pretty good ride for the last 30 years. I've had an opportunity to work with almost all the networks, at least a good number of them, and in a variety of shows, mostly underwater shows, but we also shoot topside. But my reputation is basically underwater stuff, so that's what people think
And
of.
Beth you stay up on the boat.
Oh, absolutely not. No,
You don't.
I'm
You're
down
diving too.
underwater with him. Yes.
So when we see shots of Tom underwater, and we actually see him with the camera, are you the other person that's taking video of him?
Sometimes I am, yes.
You know, Dave's got some of that in our file here. Why don't we roll some of that? And Tom, if you and Beth can kind of tell our viewers exactly what we're going to see here, television network. Go ahead, Dave, and roll that so we can. Got it? Yeah. Okay.
That's what the camera system looks like.
That's your camera,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is some of the stuff that you're shooting now.
Yeah, and this is part of a demo reel that we shot, and this probably represents about 10 countries with the various
Wow.
things that we've shot. Everything from white sharks to what you see, dolphins, wrecks, all sorts of things like that.
Bull sharks.
These are bull sharks in the Bahamas. They have quite a reputation.
Uh-huh.
And this is my other camera guy, and he's got his high-definition camera there. And you can see the size of the bull shark when they come. He's 6'8".
He's that big, and
Yeah.
that bull shark looks like he wants to take
Yeah.
a bite of him.
Yeah, he's just curious.
He's
more than-
curious.
Yeah.
You were telling us also that you've really never had an encounter with the sharks, but you don't lose eyesight. You actually are looking at them eye to eye, right?
Sharks are like a lot of wild animals. They're very curious, but they're also very intense on what they do, and their eyesight's really good. And they watch you very carefully. If you look at their eyes when they get real close, like this white shark, it's a 15-foot white shark, and his pectoral fin hits my camera port here in just a moment, right there.
Uh-huh.
But you can see him looking at you very carefully. And as long as you have good eye contact with them, it's more about curiosity than anything else. They're not maniacal man-eaters like most people say they are.
And there you just saw Tom outside of the cage, and he was one of the very first to do that, long before Anderson Cooper ever went underwater, as we just saw recently. That 15-foot white shark, as Tom mentioned earlier, was very curious and just came right down to look at himself in kind of in the camera port.
And once they touch the camera and they feel that it's not something to eat.
Now, what is this here on the screen?
Well,
that
this
we're
is
looking at?
an anemone fish with a white anemone. They live there. It's a symbiotic relationship. The anemone is poisonous to most fish, but not to the little anemone fish. These are silky sharks shot in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Beautiful work. And this, you shoot everything in high definition now.
Everything is shot in large format, high definition.
1080i.
1080i. And the cameras originally, when they were new, a camera system, just the body, was about $100,000.
Oh my goodness.
And you put a $32,000 lens in front of it and a bunch of other accessories to make it all work, and you end up with picture quality like this.
Now, what depth are we at that you're filming these particular scenes? How far down are we?
That's fairly shallow. That's probably 15 or 20, 30 feet in Micronesia and Jellyfish Lake, and that's Truk Lagoon, Micronesia, where the Japanese fleet was sank during the Second World War.
But here you're going down almost to what, 200 feet?
Yeah, 200 feet.
Now, this is down to 200 here.
This particular shot is not, but some of the ships that we dive in Truk Lagoon, like this one, is 175 feet. That's a Japanese tank that never fired around during the war because it was sank by the Americans.
Ah.
And so some of these pictures are taken inside the ships, and they range between 150 and 200 feet.
Yeah, like right here, Tom is at about 200 feet, and he's dropping down to over 200 feet. I think, what, 210,
Yeah,
something
210
like that?
here.
Is that about the maximum depth that you'll go down?
I don't like to work below 200 feet because it's more problematic, it's more dangerous, and I have a very dedicated crew that work with me, and their wives like them to come home after every assignment.
And our moms.
And their
Right,
mommies, and
right.
yeah. So we're pretty careful about that.
Your tanks, how much air does your tank hold? How long can you stay down?
We haven't used conventional scuba gear now for about 15 years. We use what are called closed circuit rebreathers. And it's basically a closed loop where you rebreathe the same air.
Oh.
But it's monitored so that when a percentage gets to a point where the carbon dioxide builds up too much, an automatic system injects more oxygen to keep it clean. The advantage in that for us is mostly we get a lot more bottom time. We can stay underwater for up to 5 hours at a time if we have to. We can dive deeper and stay longer. A lot of people say, well, you can get much closer to marine life, but that's a little bit of a misnomer. There's some marine life that you can. Hammerhead sharks, some tiny little gobies and things, you can get very close to them because there's no bubble sound. But most marine life, you find them approachable either with scuba or the closed circuit rebreathers.
Very, very interesting. Would you guys stick around for a little bit?
Sure.
We're gonna go back to the music for just maybe one video.
Then we can get
then-
some of that great pizza.
And you
Sure
guys
smells
can,
good in here.
yes, right. And we'll get you guys some Me and Ed's pizza, and we'll go back to the music. And this is Kakagugu, Kajagugu. Yeah, Kajagugu. Thank you, Jules. And this is Too Shy. Monterey on Tonight music videos, and we'll be back with Tom and Beth right after this.
That was Kaja Gugu, a strange name, with Too Shy. I'm Jules, and the Gary part of the team has stepped off the set. He was eyeing the Me and Ed's Pizza.
Yeah.
And actually, I was so happy I wanted to say hello to Tom and Beth, who are all the way here from Santa Barbara and also part-time in New Zealand now, since they're here because their fine programming, it's world-class programming, is actually airing on our Coastal TV network, and we've been able to share some information about the Coastal TV network to our local Monterey viewers. It's a stream that we send to 6 markets, and we reach millions of households with educational programming that we get from NOAA and also from fine cinematographers such as Tom and Beth. And one of the reasons that they happen to be in Monterey, and we are so fortunate to be able to have them here to be able to be on the show, is because they are working with a very special project that's coming here towards the end of summer. And Tom Campbell is on the advisory board. And would you like to share what that is? I know what it is, but I was going to let you share what that project
Well,
is.
it's the Blue Ocean Film Festival started the first one last year in Savannah, Georgia, and it was a huge hit. There are a lot of film festivals around the world, and we attend most of them and frequently are guest speakers at these type of events. But the nice thing about Blue Ocean for us especially is because we're very ocean-oriented people, and that's our whole life. What we do is all about the ocean. And the Blue Ocean Film Festival is all about oceans, and there's nothing else involved except oceans, and it's really great. They bring top-line speakers in, scientists, as well as filmmakers, and a whole host of people who are very knowledgeable about the ocean. And there's great competition amongst the films and things, and some excellent speakers. So it's really worth attending. And the Monterey Bay Aquarium is supporting this and hosting it, which is, I mean, that's a world-class aquarium. I mean, everybody knows that.
Yes.
This is the aquarium. And that, we talk about it and we hear about it no matter where you go in the world. The Monterey Bay Aquarium is mentioned around us sometimes. So they're really great people to work with, and I think the festival is going to be even bigger and better here in Monterey.
Well, I had a chance to run into Debbie Kinder, who is the co-founder of, actually the founder with Charlie, with the festival, and she's hard at work down on Cannery Row. Her office is on Cannery Row, and I know the Cannery Row Company is a major sponsor of the event, and we will be sure to have Debbie on as a guest as we get closer to that date. So if Debbie, you're watching, we're going to bring you on, and then also we'll let the viewers know how they can get involved with the film festival. I know when we started the Coastal Television Network, a big part of the reason we started was to promote tourism, but what's happened is the more that I've been able to watch some of the educational programs unfold, the more of the importance it is for me to let that be now the main purpose. The helping the tourism and the businesses is important, but also the educational aspect, the educational arm of Coastal TV Network, and letting everyone know what they can do to pitch in because there's so many daunting problems that are facing the condition.
But you should also know that a program like this doesn't just attract people on the Western Coast. People that come to these festivals come from all over the world. The top cinematographers, producers, directors, they'll all be here.
That's great.
They show up for this type of thing no matter where it is, and they'll come to the ones that are not even all oceans. So with an all-ocean festival like this, you're going to see some really key players. So it's great for Monterey, too.
My daughter, Sarah Nicole, who's also our on-air host, was able to interview Jacques Cousteau's grandson. And so we have that clip, and that was just, it's legendary, the stories and the history. And the more I learn about you, the more I think you're getting right along in that category. I mean,
Well, maybe an age.
No, going from, I don't think this has been mentioned yet during the show, but on the reconnaissance teams of the military,
The Marine Corps.
Marine Corps.
reconnaissance teams.
So you were on special diving projects on assignments that just not anybody could,
No,
to
that's
participate
true. During
in.
the Vietnam War, there were 4 Force Recon Marines and 4 Navy SEALs, and we were combined as one team to take on Vietnamese Ranger teams, and we worked through the CIA in special operations in Vietnam. But I also wanted to mention, Jules, that you have a vast number of really talented cinematographers right here in Monterey. Yeah.
Well, I know there's Ernie Kovac. Have you met Ernie Kovac?
I know of him, but I've never met him.
I haven't met him. I've spoken with him on the phone. He's done work for National Geographic,
Yeah.
and so I'm just just waiting to be able to meet him and see some of his work. But we absolutely do. This is a very special place, and we have a lot of very talented people in all sorts, in the arts and then the films, and also the consciousness as far as the environment.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited about this upcoming festival. And I think it's really wonderful that you're participating in that on the advisory board. So, and Beth, we know I know what it's like to be right beside Gary. You know, I'm sure you're very, very busy. And as a matter of fact, your background is not unlike Tom's, because you were a wildlife photographer as well. Is that correct?
Right, but rather than be underwater, I spent most of my career what we call topside, above the water. And I traveled from Antarctica to Alaska, spent time in Greenland camping with muskox. So I'm used to hiking out across the tundra with a big giant tripod and a huge camera lens slung across my shoulder. And I'd sit on a mountain, all by myself for half a day waiting for something to happen. And I didn't start going underwater until about 1989. And Tom has introduced me, taking me to so many different places since that time, to just a whole new world. And you and I were talking yesterday, for example, about how we love science fiction, Star Trek and all these cool things. There's some places where we dive, the things that we see couldn't even be pulled out of the best sci-fi writer's imagination. The most astonishing creatures inhabit our own Earth and the ocean here.
Well, it'd be fun for you to come back on and bring some of these photos.
We'd love
That'd
to
be
do
great,
that.
and some videos. So we'll definitely have to have you on, because I know you'll be here for the festival. So we'll have you and Debbie back on as a guest, and we'd love to follow. And I am so excited to get the news of when you are going to be releasing your book, because you both could really put an amazing story together. So maybe the title of author is in there somewhere, huh? Maybe perhaps when you're in New Zealand, that'll be something that you can watch.
It's one of the projects on the burner. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, we want to thank everyone for watching, and we want to thank Tom Campbell and Beth for stopping by our Monterey on Tonight show. And we're going to get back to the music, and we're going to let them go enjoy some Me and Ed's pizza because they haven't had dinner yet. And if you haven't had dinner, their phone number is 831-899-0101. Give them a call. They've got a great special right now, 3 topping for $10, which is unheard of in Me and Ed's history. It's wonderful, world-famous pizza. So the next song I'm going to check with Dave, our engineer. Dave, it's Frida, right? Frida. And we'll give you some information when we come back from the song. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for watching.
I Know There's Something Going On by Frida, and she was with the ABBA group.
That was her first song on her solo career, right?
Right, 1982. And, I was listening to the drums on that video, and I thought they sounded familiar, but just the way that they were being played, it was Phil Collins.
Really?
Yep.
No kidding.
Phil Collins. And the song was written by,
song,
he produced it, and the song was written by Russ Ballard. And it got heavy rotation. That's the way they used to call the videos on MTV. That meant that they played it a lot, and it helped the song go to
How far did it get?
heavy promotion on MTV due to worldwide success of the song.
That's great. That's
How about
great.
that?
Well, we want to thank everyone for watching. We just had a couple of really interesting, amazing guests, Tom Campbell and Beth from Tom Campbell HD Productions. And they have several programs we air on Coastal TV Network. Manta Rays is one of my favorites, and I know the manatees, which is, Beth has a special fondness for the manatees. I didn't know how big the manatees were.
Really?
You know, when you're watching the video, did you tell me they're called sea cows?
And you know what?
What?
The Coastal Television Network is on here on
Tonight.
Comcast Channel 19 tonight, right after us. Gary Hamada will be on. Is there a chance that maybe Tom Campbell and some of his work will be on
Absolutely.
tonight?
What I will do is I'll put Gary Hamada, because he likes me to feature something. I'll actually do the dog parade that was at the Ten Cannery last winter.
Cool.
So I'll put that on from Gary Hamada. And then
For locals only.
For locals only, and then we will move on into some of Tom Campbell's
If you'd like to
videos.
see some of Tom's work, then stay tuned tonight after midnight, probably around 1 o'clock or so, and you'll see some of Tom's work with fabulous cinematography, with probably the best underwater camera work you'll ever see. He, as you heard earlier, he works for all the networks, has done some fabulous work, and just a super guy.
And we have a new sponsor this hour.
We do. It's 9:00, and so Me and Ed's goes bye-bye, and our new sponsor is
Well,
Hola.
hola. Just like last
Bernadette.
week.
Yeah, just like last week.
And you know what? We're setting a date, and before the end of the show tonight, I will have the date confirmed with her for our May get-together for KYMB, and that's where we get our viewers and our clients and
everybody
our
together.
staff together, and we get a good deal. And last month we were at Me and Ed's, and this month we're going to be at Hola.
Hola, and
Mexican
we'll be telling you
restaurant.
all about that.
That sounds great. And we also have some really fun guests coming up. We have Gina Renee, and she is from KNRY Radio, Jim Vosson's radio
She
station.
does a radio show there and talks about health matters.
Oh, and you know, what I like about Gina, she really makes them interesting.
She does that show once a week on KNRY, but she also is on one of the AMP channels once a month. She's
Yeah, well-
a host of that, so we'll find out more from her when she's on the show.
That sounds great.
So let's get back to more music. If you just happen to tune in the very first time and you wonder what's going on, this is Monterey on Tonight. We're live right here in the KYMB studios. We're here every Saturday night. Can you believe it?
We don't go
Live.
anywhere on the weekends
We
anymore.
do not.
This is what we do.
We are right here in Monterey, and we play classic music videos for you from the 80s, and we also have in-studio guests. And tonight, I understand, we're going to get someone on the phone and do a little phone interview.
We have
when
a
Gary
lot
Hamada
of,
is here.
We have lots of fun guests tonight.
Great.
So-
Well, let's get back to the music.
Okay.
And this is from the Van Halen.
You know, once in a while, there's a couple of songs
Yes.
that come through that are rock and roll,
Yeah.
but they're a little on the mild side, so
Uh-huh.
we go ahead and play them. There's some that are a little bit edgy, and we just kind of skip them. But this is Van Halen, and this is
1984.
called. And what I liked about this is it's called Panama, and Panama was the name of David Lee Roth's car. Isn't that something? And so, anyway.
Dave had the hood and bumper mounted in his hallway. How about
And you
that?
can hear Eddie Van Halen revving. If you listen close in the video, his Lamborghini. It's when you hear that rah rah, that's Eddie Van Halen's
Crazy guys.
Lamborghini. And then after that, it's "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses. So a couple of little rock songs here, and then we'll get back to some more mellow music.
Okay, super. Here we go. Monterey on Tonight. Let's go back to do it.
You're going to do it.
No, you're gonna.
You're gonna do it.
No,
You know, Gary's trying
I'll do it.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
do it. Our guest will introduce herself.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Gina Renee. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and holistic nutritionist and the author of Wellness for Women, a guide to natural health, beauty, and longevity, as well as the host of Health Talk with Gina Renee. It's every Thursday at 4:05 on AM 1240 KNRY, and I also co-host the Your Health radio and television program right here at the AMP studios.
And what a natural.
Yeah.
Only I
Wow.
looked at the wrong camera, but that's
No, that's
no,
okay.
No, you did a
Wow.
great job. That work that you do downstairs at AMP is coming through.
See?
You do a TV show here.
Do a TV show here once
a month.
Mhm.
And what day and time?
It's on Mondays at 4 in the afternoon on cable channel 24.
Cable channel 24. Now, are you on the radio at the same
it's
time?
simulcast on the radio on AM 1240 KNRY, and it's on the internet at knry.com,
My goodness.
and on the internet streamed live video stream on ampmedia.org.
So they can't miss you.
No
Can't
way.
miss it.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk to them about that. Maybe they can stream us.
Well, you've got that lunch appointment with Jim Vossen. I
We're
think
in the
you'll
same
cook
building.
something up.
So, we'll have to talk to them about that.
Well, I've really enjoyed getting to know you through your show.
Yes.
There's always something that I take away, and one of the most memorable recent takeaways was Gina had said, if your grandmother, now you'll have to correct me because I get it botched up, but if your grandmother wouldn't recognize it, then you shouldn't eat it.
Ah, that's where that came from?
Yes, that was.
She's using that all the
I
time.
tell her that. And and also when you go to the market, the processed foods are generally in the middle.
Yeah.
And so when I'm at the market now, that comes to my mind. And when I'm looking at a Dorito or a Cheeto, which are just like really delicious.
Junk food.
It goes through my mind, this wasn't around. My grandmother wouldn't necessarily
so you're
recognize
not buying it now.
It's not doing anything
The
for me.
supermarkets are not going to like Gina anymore.
They don't like me.
Actually, they should, because there's also
healthy departments within the
But
supermarket, right?
isn't it true, Gina, that those foods, the junk foods, are the highest profit for the supermarket?
Absolutely. They're the highest profit. They're the highest profit for the food manufacturers, too. The cheaper the ingredients are, the more profit they make. They
Oh,
spend more
goodness.
money on marketing than actually on the food itself.
On the food itself. So it all goes into selling the product. That's when they advertise. And then if you spend that money, the actual food product itself is not very nutritious.
It's
for
killing
you.
us.
It is killing us.
It's killing us, and it's making us fat and unhealthy. And what's amazing is that I just read a study this morning that showed that 80% of heart disease can be prevented just by getting away from that kind of processed food or getting away from the standard American sad diet. 90% of diabetes, type 2 diabetes, could be avoided.
Wow.
90%. And 70% of colon cancer.
Well, who's the fellow now that's got a network television show? We saw a little clip of that on ABC, I think it was.
Oh,
That is-
Jamie Oliver.
that
Jamie
guy.
Oliver's Food Revolution. You gotta
Yeah,
watch
now
Jamie Oliver's Food
now
Revolution.
he went in and piled all of the junk food on a huge table and said, "This is what you're eating
in
In a
one
week.
week.
in 1 week."
And there was no color, no veggies, no anything. It was all processed.
All processed
Hot
foods.
dogs, hamburgers,
Junk food.
pizzas, frozen.
Junk food.
Yeah.
Junk food.
Deep fried. Yeah. It's killing us. It is.
So how do we change? How do we say enough is enough? Now is the time to eat nutritious food. How do you break that
If
habit?
you probably first have to when you think, open up your cabinets and your refrigerator, right, and see where you're at.
Where you are.
Where
Just
you
kind
are.
of look and see where you are, and you start with one change. Start with one thing, and honestly, I would say if there's one thing that you can do to make that first step is to start making your only beverage water. There's really no need to drink anything else.
The soft drinks are not good for you, especially the diet soft drinks.
The ones that taste so good. But you know what I've found is that when you start making an adjustment, your body gets used to it. It's almost like you have to detox. You have to get away from it for a while, then you don't really want it anymore.
And you talk about all these things on your radio
I
program.
do, on my radio program, which is Thursdays at 4:05 on AM 1240. And I have a different topic every week. And I'll talk about our digestion. If we have tummy troubles, I'll help you with heartburn. 1 week I actually had a program called Help, I Can't Poop.
Wow.
Because so many people have constipation. Nobody wants to talk about it. And it's so very important that we have good digestion and elimination. So we talked about that. Talk about toxic products that you don't need in your home. So I go beyond nutrition into the other products that are making us unhealthy too.
Do you have other experts call into the show that you put on the
Sometimes-
air?
Yep, sometimes I'll have guest
And
speakers.
Do you
come
take
in.
calls from
Take
the
calls.
audience?
So anybody can call in. If you have a question, you can call into the program and talk to me or my guest that I have that hour.
If somebody wants to do something beyond just the one step, the water, and they're feeling miserable, they have no energy, their stress level's high, and they have headaches, they're just like, they know that they're in a physical wreck and they really want some more intensive attention, you also have a business that you run,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you can do consulting.
Yep, I'm an acupuncturist,
Okay.
a holistic nutritionist, and I always combine the two in my practice. Whenever you come to see me, you're going to be getting some help with your lifestyle choices. And some people are all or nothing. They want to do it all right now, and some people need to take baby steps. So whatever you're ready for, I work with you one-on-one, and then with the acupuncture as well, which is an amazing, amazing thing.
Now, here's a question, and I had heard this before, and I don't know how true it is. Can you actually lose weight by having acupuncture?
By putting a needle in your body is not going to cause you to go home and get on the scale and you've lost 25 pounds.
Okay, so is that like a misnomer?
No,
that,
you know what it is? Acupuncture can help you to lose your cravings and addictions to certain foods by getting underneath that physical addiction and helping to heal the body at the core.
I see.
So it works on an energetic level to make you feel more relaxed and more balanced and more centered and more in the flow of life so that you're not pulled toward eating when you're for comfort or when you're bored or when you're anxious and nervous. You know, we all eat for different reasons other than just when we're hungry.
Yeah.
So it really does help in that way. And then I also give you nutritional tools to use to help you lose weight.
Where's your office?
I'm located downtown Monterey,
Okay.
off of Pacific Street.
So real easy to get to.
Easy to get to. I only work by appointment, so you have to make an appointment with me because I'd like to spend time one-on-one with you. And
you're on Facebook.
I'm on
because I'm linked to you
Facebook.
now. Gina Renee.
That's
Yeah.
how you guys
That's how we
discovered
met.
each
I
other?
follow.
Well, you heard her on the radio.
I did, and then I
you-
found her on Facebook, and
on
I
Facebook.
followed the tips on Facebook. And then also you can go to our website, kymbtv.com. We have a feedback form if you'd like additional information.
Or you'd like to get a hold of Gina.
Yep. And what
You
is
can do it
your
right through here.
number?
My number is 831-886-5750. And
Or
my website.
go to the website.
Yeah, my website is GinaReneeLAC.com, and I spell my name the Italian way, GinaReneeLAC.com. Yep.
And again, if you didn't have a pencil
Yeah.
and you heard all that and you say, how do we find her? Just go to our website, send us an email by
David
going to our
put it on the
website,
screen.
and Juliana will make
There it
sure
is.
that you find Gina.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
much.
This has really been
we hope we've
informative.
encouraged our viewers to drink more water,
Drink more water, eat real food.
eat real food, and green food. One of the
And
things,
green food.
one of the things I've noticed, and I know it, he notices it too, is I'll get a big thing of broccoli or
Green food.
broccolini or green,
Asparagus.
yeah, and I always tell him, I'm like, green is so important, and the sulfur.
Peas.
He doesn't like the smell of the sulfur, so I just burn a candle. I'm like, that smell is what actually is what is very healthy about
Exactly.
it, right?
Good cook.
And so anyway,
That's great.
well, thank you for spending some time with us on a Saturday night.
Yes,
Thank you. I
absolutely.
appreciate you having
And
me.
we're
Great.
going to keep listening to your radio show
Thank you.
and following you on Facebook, and maybe I'll even make an appointment and resume my acupuncture. I've got some health goals
Good.
that I'm looking to
Well, how
to
about that?
meet.
Wonderful.
Gee whiz.
Love
Have
that.
you ever had that before?
No, I have not, but I might even try it.
Well, I was at one point in my life would be like, I would never do that. And then there was another point in my life where I was really looking for some, I don't call them solutions, but I was looking for some alternatives because what I was doing wasn't working. And
I didn't know you then.
they,
I didn't know her then.
you didn't know?
No, must have been a long time ago.
Anyway, well, we always have different health challenges at different times in our lives.
True.
And it was amazing. I really absolutely am an advocate now for the health benefits of
Yeah,
acupuncture.
acupuncture changes lives.
Just remember, no sodas, water, water, water. How many glasses should we drink a day?
We need to be drinking half of our body weight in ounces of water every day. That's our goal.
Wow.
That's a goal.
Really?
But
That's
for
a goal.
now, just kind of pay attention to how much water you're drinking right now, and tomorrow try and drink one extra glass.
Wow. And do it that way.
See, I
do it
like
that
because
way.
it's practical. You understand human nature, how it's hard. Even if we go in intensively, we maybe won't stick with it.
Yeah.
So
And
you're
I have a tip.
what
Instead of buying those plastic bottles
that
of
we have in
water-
our office right now, along with the
Well,
cupcakes and the pizza.
Yes. Well, that's only on Saturday night.
I was looking for that. That's true.
That's only on
That's true.
Saturday night for our guests. But if you really want to save money on water, get a water filtration system
Yes.
for your home.
Yes.
And instead of paying all that money for the plastic,
Which has chemicals that leach into the water, right?
Absolutely.
but also that are not green,
That's right.
okay, then you can fill up a bottle of water for about a penny.
That's right.
With a-
Excellent tip. Can
yeah.
I use that tip on my radio program this Thursday? 'Cause
If you'll
this
give me
Thursday-
credit for
I
it.
will give you credit
Okay.
for it. It's all about Earth Day this
Okay,
Thursday.
well, great.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
That's what
we'll
had to
be
more
listening.
green.
Okay.
Great.
We'll be listening. Thank you, Gina.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Let's get
for
back to
coming.
the music. Okay, let's see. We did Van Halen. Did we do Guns N' Roses? Did we do The Clash?
I believe it's the Who.
Oh, The Who.
You better, you bet.
Okay, let's get back to the music.
And it's from 1981.
Right here on You Better, You Bet. That was The Who, and this is Monterey on Tonight. I'm Gary.
And I'm Jules. Can I do it just like you?
Yeah, I'm Gary.
You know, our
Do it
second
again.
hour.
Do it again.
I'm Jules.
Okay, good.
Our second hour and third hour and fourth hour is a little bit gets more relaxed as we go on. Have you noticed
Yeah,
that?
we do.
We get a
we have a
little,
little bit more fun.
we
It's
have a
time
more
to say
fun.
hi to Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi,
Hi
Everly.
there.
And hi to, no, it's not quite
Hey,
time to
where's?
say hi
I
to
wanted to know something.
our other friends
I want to say
from
hi
Latitudes.
to Doug Lumsden. He was going to come by tonight.
Is Doug, Mr.
Yeah.
Monterey Movie Tours,
Monterey
where
Movie
are
Tour,
you?
where
You were going
are
to stop by
you?
tonight.
I'm going to razz
Call him on
over.
the phone.
I
Call his
will.
cell phone.
It's on my phone right here.
Well, call him up and let's put him on the air.
You want me to right
Yeah,
now?
call him right now.
Okay.
Put him on the
here we
speaker.
go.
Oh, but you don't have the mic turned on.
How do we turn it on?
He's got to crawl under the
Okay.
cameras.
Doug, if you're watching, we're about to call you.
Yes, Doug,
And
are you
see
at
how
home
things
watching?
are going in the movie tours.
Yes, in the movie tour business.
What you can't see right now, viewers, is Dave Johnson crawling on the floor
Our
to
engineer
turn
had
on.
to turn the mic back on for the speakerphone, so
Okay,
do you have
Doug.
the number?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's see if Doug will
Unless
answer.
he's out dancing at
Let's-
the Highlands.
And turn
Lee
this.
Durley's playing.
See if you can get him on the phone. Mr. Doug, we're calling you. If you're watching
This
the
is
show.
live TV, folks, right here, right now.
Doug's such a great guy. He has the Monterey movie tours all over the Monterey Peninsula every day, and if you haven't ever done that, you've got to do it. 3 hours. He goes to all the spots where movies were made here on the Monterey Peninsula. Super bus screens up above. Not answering.
No, it actually says hold.
It's going to his voicemail.
Nope.
No?
It went to voicemail. Well, maybe he's driving and not talking on the phone while he's
Well,
driving.
he can't be doing the tour at this time of night.
No, but he was going to come to the office, so he might
oh,
be
he
driving
might be
to
on
the
the way
office.
here. Well, let's hope he is.
So anyway,
we can,
we'll give him a call in a little while.
put him on the air. Anyway, Monterey Movie Tours, and he's also on our Coastal Television Network.
With Monterey Movie Moments.
Yes.
Which I will
So-
play tonight.
Will you?
Yes, I will. I'll
See
put
that
one on.
now you guys have got to see for locals only. You'll see Tom Campbell and also Doug
Doug.
Lumsden.
Lumsden.
I have to be very careful when I say that. Lumsden. It's very difficult to say.
You're getting
Can't
it, though,
say
Gary.
it 3
You're
times.
getting it.
3 times fast. Can't do that 3 times.
And we've got
fast.
Sarah Nicole on tonight after
Oh,
midnight.
Sarah's going to be here
Yes.
with a little
Actually,
recap of some of our MGM movies.
Our MGM movies, which we air throughout the. Oh, that might even be Doug.
Is that Doug?
Let me get it. Hello. Oh.
Is that
hi,
Doug?
Hold on.
That is
Hi,
Doug.
Doug.
Hi, Doug. Hang it up there.
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
Julie, Juliana?
Yes, it's us.
We were
Oh.
trying to get a hold of you.
You know, I'm driving over right now.
Oh, good.
You're on your way.
Yep.
That's what I told Gary. I thought maybe it was because you were on your way. We hadn't seen you and we missed you. We were going to call you while we're on air.
And we're on
Well,
air.
you know, are you off the air now?
No, we're
No,
on
we're
air.
still on.
We'll
You're
see
on
you.
right now.
We'll see you in a few minutes. Drive careful.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Doug.
He's on his way.
How
Told you
about
he was
that?
driving.
He's driving here to the studio.
He didn't recognize our number.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he goes, who is this? Anyway,
Aha.
we used a back
We
line.
used the backline number.
The bat phone is
The
what
bat
I call
phone,
it.
yeah. Anyway, I lost my place. Where exactly are we in the show?
We were talking about Sarah Nicole is going to do our movie review at the end of tonight.
But she's going to talk about the movies that we run here on Channel 19,
Yes,
Comcast Cable,
which is the MGM
Movie
Movie
Network.
Network.
But is she also going to be talking about some of the other movies that are over at the Lighthouse Cinema?
Actually, I've got it printed, so we'll go ahead and mention that because we're giving a couple of tickets away tonight in our drawing. So I'll mention those that are airing. And then
Okay.
this week, I've got a call in to Ben Castillo, who's general manager, for her to go out and film a movie review.
Oh, super.
So next Saturday is going to be really
So we can talk about the movies that are playing not only on our channel,
right,
but the movies
current.
that are playing down at the Lighthouse.
And the Lighthouse is a really wonderful cinema. It's local. They've got some great restaurants right about. As a matter of fact, Teeny Shake's restaurant's right down the road.
PG, Pacific Grove.
Right, Pacific Grove. So
Support your local businesses in PG.
right.
They need all the help they can get, folks.
Yep, they do.
Right.
They do.
Okay, shall we play some more music?
I think so. And then when we come back, I suspect Doug will be here.
This
so we'll
is
put
a
him on.
great video from Duran Duran.
Oh,
This
I like this
is
one.
Rio, and Rio is the 7th single by Duran Duran, released in 1982. The music video was shot over the course of 3 days in May of '82 on the island of Antigua.
They had so much trouble getting this video made. There were sharks that were harassing them. Talking about sharks, we were seeing sharks with Tom Campbell, and Tom Campbell said he always maintains eye contact. I suspect these folks didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
really.
And then they wanted to add some more footage. They had this whole script planned out for the music video that you're about to see, and they ran out of film. So the guy had to borrow a movie camera and finish filming it. So you may even notice a little change in the
It
the
also
film.
said, who said I hate boats unless they're tied up and you're having cocktails on them?
Nick Rhodes, he's seasick the entire time that they're doing this music video.
Well, anyway, let's go watch Duran Duran and Rio, and then we're going to follow that up with, is it Madness, Our House?
Yes,
That's another great music video from the 80s, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Monterey on tonight.
Enjoy.
Here's the music. And that was Our House, and
that came out when I was in high school.
it did?
Yeah, and that was a fun song. We used to 1982 November.
1982.
Actually, it was before high school. Wow, I didn't realize. I thought that was a
The
lot.
pop band Madness.
It's right here, honey.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess it is November 1982.
1982. Not very much about
There really
them.
wasn't. What you know? What the song just has? What 2 words? Our house. There really isn't much
In
of
the
a
middle of
story.
our house. I mean, you know, hey, and it was a hit. Doesn't take much to get a hit.
No. How are you tonight? We're having fun here in the studio.
I'm doing
huh?
great, and I think it's about time we chat about our friends over at Ola
In the barnyard upstairs, Bernadette is running it. Denise and Richard are the owners, and they will be guests on our show.
And if you like
May
what we're
1st.
doing here, please go in and see our sponsors, Me and Ed's, Ola, Alberto's in Pacific Grove, and Jose's Underground, and the restaurant over in Seaside. And tell them that you really appreciate the music videos on Saturday night. Keeps you company when you're at home. Enjoy the old classic music videos. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our sponsors.
And you can visit our website, kymbtv.com, and send us an email through our feedback form on that
And
front page, and we'll enter you.
We will put you in the fishbowl. And tonight we're going to have 3 drawings tonight.
Several. We have a gift
Before
certificate
we go off the air, we have a gift certificate.
for
We have movie tickets.
First Impression Party Supply,
We have a pizza.
pizza.
I mean, we have a lot to give away tonight.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you could go to First Impressions Party, get your little party hats, and go
Mm-hmm.
to Me and Ed's, have a pizza, and then you go to Lighthouse Cinema
and see the movie.
and movie. And then when you're done, you go over to Ola and have after movie drinks. See? Got it
Wow.
all figured out. Actually, Ola, Mexican restaurant, has their hot Tuesday nights. We were there last Tuesday, by the
We
way.
were, and that was great.
Half off the entire food menu starting at 4 p.m. You cannot beat that.
Not
And
at
it's
all.
really great food, too.
Not at all.
So.
And Doug arrived, so we're going to play a video, and then we're going to have Mr. Monterey
And I
Movie
was right.
Tours
When he
the
didn't
set.
answer, I said he was probably driving
And
on
he was.
his way,
He
and
was
that's why
on
he
his
didn't
way here.
answer.
That's why he didn't. And he didn't recognize our backline phone number.
No. Now he knows what it is. I'll have to save it.
Yes, he'll save that now, and he'll be calling us when we're on the air.
So what's next here?
Well, let's see. I have this is a Journey coming up.
Yeah.
And it's called Separate Ways. And then we're going to follow
my-
that up with
Here it is.
Huey.
This is from 1983, and it peaked at number 8 for 6 consecutive weeks.
So we're going to do 2. We're going to
Okay.
do Journey and then Huey Lewis. We opened up with The Heart of Rock and Roll a couple of weeks back.
You did? That was your pick?
That was my pick, but we're going to play it again tonight. And then Mr. Monterey Movie Tours, Doug Lumsden, will be with us right here on our set.
Okay, enjoy the next
Oh,
song.
yeah,
folks.
The Heart of Rock and Roll, Huey Lewis. And, you know, Doug, actually, you look a little bit like Huey there with the sunglasses
A
on.
little bit, yeah.
These lights are just, I'm going to have to wear these now. This is my image.
Doug
How
was
are you
on his
doing,
way
Will?
over. Good to see you. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
by. And here's his old pal. These guys used to do
Hey, big guy.
a radio show every Wednesday at KRML. Get the camera out, take a picture. It's like
Old
old
days,
times.
right?
It's like old times
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We had a blast doing that.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
And Merritt Sue McLeod would never come on the air unless you were there because she liked to kid you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
well,
let the band
I
really-
talked about our CIA past.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
Remember that?
We opened up a can
Yeah.
of worms with that CIA
Oh, yeah.
because no one else knew about it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and
Especially when
all
you
of a
got on the
sudden
air.
it came out in public,
Yeah.
news in the paper and everything
Oh,
that she
yeah.
was a CIA executive.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Incidentally, this is Gary Hamada. We didn't introduce Gary.
I'm not Jules. I'm not as pretty as Jules, that's for sure.
No, that
Gary's
is for sure.
a weekly guest here on our show on Monterey on Tonight. And Doug is Mr. Monterey Movie Tours. Doug, tell everybody about the Monterey Movie Tours. We
Tours.
might have a whole new audience tonight that
You never
doesn't
know.
know anything about what you do.
Everyone's seen the crazy, colorful bus that goes around town. I
Yeah.
think everyone has. Yeah, we go to site. It's a scenic tour of the Monterey Peninsula. Do you really want me to do my marketing deal?
Yeah, do your
This is like
marketing
2
thing. Sure,
minutes
this is
and
it's a freebie.
it's
no charge.
It's 2 tours in 1. It's the scenic tour of the Monterey Peninsula, but you get to see it through the eyes of Hollywood. And there's not too many of these in the world, and we've had so many movies filmed in our area, so we go to the sites where they were filmed. We show the scene on the overhead monitor in a specially built bus, and we have fun.
He's done that
That's
before,
what it's
can
about.
you tell?
We've been on it 3 times.
Yeah.
What's neat about it is if you want to feel like a local,
Yeah.
you go on his tour bus and then you walk around everywhere and you can talk about all the different things like you've been here for years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
we
you
have a
know
lot of locals.
what's interesting is that folks who live right here, they're the ones that need to get on that bus and take the tour. Because, it's
Absolutely.
like the people who live in New York, they never go to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. No, it's really true. I think in our own neighborhood, we don't do all the things we should do.
It's
The one
folks
that's
who
most
get out of
popular,
town.
you're right down here on Cannery Row.
Yeah.
There's a little area right in front of Sly McFly's where
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe,
Yeah.
We've seen that
Yeah.
scene on your Monterey
Class
Movie
by
Moments.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the Artichoke Festival coming up in a couple of weeks, she was the first artichoke queen.
1948.
Now I'm going to throw Doug a curveball, and let's see how sharp he is.
Okay, here it comes.
Out of all of the movies that
Yes.
have ever been filmed
Oh, boy.
on the Monterey Peninsula that you show
Mm-hmm.
when they do the Monterey movie tours,
Yes.
was any of those movies an Academy Award winner?
No. No, there were some that did win Academy Awards, but not for Picture of the Year.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm the movie guide. I forgot. From Here to
Your
Eternity.
I was just going to say that.
Here to Eternity.
Was filmed
Thank you.
here?
You're
No,
supposed to
but
back
just
me
one
up when I'm wrong.
scene. Just one
Was
scene.
it
No,
one scene, the
it
beach
was
scene or something?
1953, I believe it was the Academy Award for Picture of the Year. Academy Award, yes.
But how much of it was it?
Anyone
filmed?
out there, call us right now if I'm wrong.
Go to the email
think
and let us know.
There were several other that won Academy Awards for screenplay and for music and things like that. But Picture of the Year, yeah,
Wow.
I believe From Here to Eternity.
What about National
1953.
Velvet? Was that any?
No, I don't think it got an award.
No,
Velvet.
National
Elizabeth Taylor?
National Velvet, I think, got some photography,
Uh-huh.
photogenic.
That was when
award.
she was 12
Yeah.
years old?
Yeah.
13.
13. Is that where she got knocked off the horse? She
She
fell off the
fell
horse.
off
I
the
wasn't
horse
ready
at
for
Pebble
this tonight.
Beach.
You know,
Pebble Beach. No, we didn't cue him tonight. We're throwing him curves tonight.
I
But
learned
yeah,
all
but
this
that
from-
From Here to Eternity.
I'm not
I
all here
read.
tonight
I
either.
think I read it in Carmel magazine. They said that they shot that scene on the
Yes.
beach, and the water was so cold.
yeah.
Right?
Yes,
When they did that
frigid.
scene.
Yeah,
Frigid
absolutely.
water.
Yes, there was they had to reshoot one scene of the movie. The whole movie was filmed on Oahu in Hawaii, and they came back. Cast and crew came back to Hollywood, and the director Fred Zinnemann did not like. Pretty good knowledge, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good stuff.
I'm the movie guy. I better know this
Good
stuff, right?
stuff.
So the director said, we've got to reshoot that scene, and they decided just to drive up north of Hollywood like they'd done so many times in years gone by, and they reshot the scene at Pfeiffer Beach.
Pfeiffer Beach.
Yeah,
Pfeiffer
so the
Beach.
big famous story about that, and it was so much colder than Hawaii. They, they never, when they originally shot it in Hawaii, they were standing up. They were not laying down. How about that?
Burt Lancaster looked really
Yeah.
cold though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Burt was the one who said, why don't we lay down in the water? He thought that would
I mean,
be
he
a-
was looking like he was trying to be warm, but
Well,
he was,
Deborah
Yeah.
Carr.
yeah.
Deborah Carr.
That heated them up.
Yeah, I think so. I still like that. I watch
I
that
like
scene
that.
every
Yeah, that
day.
was a little bit
She
before
was-
its time.
she was
Was it?
all
Kind of a
right.
racy scene.
Listen, it was a very racy scene, but today it's I mean, that could be a
it's
Walt
mild
Disney production.
by today.
Yeah, but
by-
oh my
yeah.
gosh, that was one back then. You just covered the kids' eyes.
Not
you know?
PG-13.
Yeah, well, they didn't even have ratings back then,
No.
Gary.
No,
Remember
that's right.
that?
No ratings.
But remember
That's right,
those
they didn't
days
have
when we were growing
ratings.
up?
That's right.
We snuck into everything.
I have, yeah. I saw the. I used to
The
go see
Summer
all the Doris
Place,
Day movies,
right
you know,
there.
Pillow Talk,
Yeah.
and all that.
Pillow Talk.
Yeah. Except one
Day.
time I got stuck. I fell asleep in the theater. I woke up and there was a Bridget Bardot movie on.
Wow. Really?
I decided to stay. I was
Well,
12
you were
years old.
lucky.
Yeah.
It was
Hey, what's going on? What's going on this week or last week? Or
Oh.
fill us in. Gary is here every week
Well,
to let us know what's happening on the Monterey Peninsula. And Doug went
yeah.
to the movies
Oh,
tonight.
I saw a good movie. David Duchovny and Demi Moore. Thank you. Senior moment here. I'll tell you. And it's the movie's called The Joneses, and it's a very interesting premise storyline. These are people kind of like you stage homes. You know, when you sell them, they stage families. They bring a family in that's not really a family, set them up in a very upscale neighborhood, and then they provide them with all the products. These people join country clubs, whatever, and their friends want to buy the products that they're
Oh
using.
my goodness!
It's like a
It's a very interesting-
corporation sets them up in there.
You know,
Yeah.
quite frankly, it could happen today.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you
Maybe
think
it is
about
happening.
Well, it could be.
Screenplay.
Might be a true story.
We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna have to send Sarah over to the theater. She's gonna be on later doing her Monterey MGM
Sarah.
movie review.
I
She's
see
in the
Sarah right
studio.
over there.
Yeah, she's got a Harley with her,
She has
and
lots
she's
of
gonna
friends.
be on. She's gonna be on later, and we'll send her to see that movie and do a review.
Well, that'll be great. Sarah, you're gonna do
Yeah.
it. You're gonna have fun watching that. That's for sure.
Anyway, what's happening, Mr. Hamada, on the Monterey
well,
Peninsula?
Just to catch up, you want to catch up with Peter Plomondon, the artist over at the Carmel Art Association. His show is doing really well right now, and in fact, he said he can pay his rent this week.
Cool.
That's a good thing.
That's a quote from Peter.
Yeah.
And he'll be giving a talk this Wednesday, the 21st, at the Carmel Art Association at 7 p.m. So if you want to know more about Peter Plomondon, then go on over to the Art Association. Kim Edmondson Trio is still playing. It just showcases what we do here in the Monterey Peninsula is have all these great talent. They all live here. And they play here, and sometimes we get a little jaded. Kim Edmondson's a case. This is at Woody's every Thursday night, a little trio he puts together. This past Thursday, you would have seen Barry Manilow's guitarist, who was born and raised here on the Pacific Grove. He still resides here with his mom, and he was a guitarist with Kim Edmondson at Woody's right here.
Oh goodness.
I don't know who this week will be, but again, you might catch Michael Lent. Barry Manilow's guitarist there again this week, 8 p.m. Also, Greg Abate will be tomorrow and at about 4:30 at Wave Street Studios. And Greg Abate is an international jazz artist. He's touring. He does 150 dates a year all over the world. He's also going to be lecturing, and he's also a professor over at the Cal State University Monterey Bay. This whole next week, he'll be at all the different schools like Marina, Seaside, York, and he will be. He has a CD that's coming out tomorrow at the Wave Street Studios, featuring such jazz notables as Bill Cunliffe on piano, Akita Tana on drums, and Ray Bulldog drumming on bass. And then, last but not least, the Harlem Globetrotters are in town at Salinas at Hartnell College, April 22nd, Thursday. Jack Globenfeld, by the way, who
Is Jack coming back to town?
he used to be their marketing director,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah. He's
So-
back in New York though.
He's back in New York, but
He was at the Sunset Center.
our former executive director at the Sunset
We
Center.
miss Jack.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
We miss
Jack,
Jack.
come on
I used to
back.
kid him that
Yeah.
they used him as the ball. He said, "Yeah, I did."
Wait, there's a lot going on
lot
on the
going on.
Monterey Peninsula. Thank you, Gary. And say again?
He wants to make a call too.
Oh, we'll do that. We're going to play a
Yeah.
video,
Okay.
and then we'll get.
We're going to get lucky enough to catch Greg Abate by phone.
Yeah,
and,
let's get him on the phone, and we can do a quick phone interview with him.
What are you drinking here,
How's that?
partner?
Gatorade.
Oh, all right.
Unlike the hard stuff you drink.
All
Oh,
right. Okay.
no.
Iced tea.
We're all drinking water and iced tea.
Yeah, I need a little bit more energy.
Gatorade,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a marathon here.
Let's go play a video, and
What
then we'll
about
come
your
back.
impressions?
No impressions.
Oh,
tonight.
later.
Well,
Okay.
I'll do those later.
Okay.
I just happened to be watching Bruno on
He's a man
Regis
of many
and,
talents over here. I'll tell
and
you.
Kelly, and he just with that accent and the way he did that, I had to do Bruno this week. But I'll do some more impressions for you. Actually, we're going to have someone on tonight that that does impressions. He does a great Christopher Walken. Matt from Latitudes is going to be here. Matt the waiter from
All
Latitudes.
right.
Oh.
And,
I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
I bet he's
so that's going to
terrific.
be in the next hour.
All right.
Incidentally, this 10 o'clock hour, folks, last hour was brought to the viewers by Ola at the Barnyard, out in
Terrific
at
place.
the
Oh,
bottom
boy.
of the hill there, Rio Road and Highway 1. But this hour now is brought to our viewers by Alberto
Oh.
at Alberto's Ristorante in Pacific Grove, California.
Where the Iron Chef's dine.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Dave, do we have that Alberto commercial where he opens the door and invites everybody to come into there? He goes, "Hello, I'm Alberto." Have we got that spot ready? Can you roll that spot? And then we'll go play the next video, which is Mike and the Mechanics and Silent Running. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me when you're ready. 1 second.
Let's play the
You want to play the video first? We're going to play the video first, and then
All
we'll come
right.
back with
Very good.
Alberto. So here's the video.
love
The
this.
Eurythmics.
Now he's singing.
And that was.
You really
Sweet
loosened up
dreams.
there about hour 3 of our
Well,
4-hour
it's a
live
long
show.
night here. 4 hours of music videos and guests. Gary Hamada is here, and Gary,
Hi,
who do
folks.
we have on the phone?
Well, international jazz touring artist Greg Abate, who is going to be in Monterey tomorrow evening at 4:30 for his CD release event at Wave Street Studios here on Cannery Row, and we have him online. He does 150 tour dates all over the world, and I don't know where he is. I think he's in California right now. Where are you, Greg?
I'm in Newark, California.
Newark, California.
That's up north.
Yeah, California's a pretty big place. I've been driving around all day. I live in Rhode Island, and I can walk through the state.
Okay, you'll be here in town tomorrow at 4:30. You want to tell us a little bit about the CD that you're going to be releasing
sure.
tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, Gary. Thanks for having me on the show. It's called Monterey Live. Greg
Monterey.
Abate
Oh, the
Quartet.
CD is called Monterey Live.
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh, well,
that's
we
cool.
like that. Well, our show's called Monterey On Tonight, Greg.
Hey, thanks, Jules. Hey, I just like you. I haven't met you, but I just hear you guys over there, with the banter in between you and the young lady there and
Yeah.
Gary. You sound like you're really having a great time.
Oh, we have a ball. We
Hey,
have
what's
fun.
your name?
Gary and Jules are the hosts of the show Monterey On Tonight here, and they're nice enough to have me on tonight, and as well as to have you on by phone. So,
Gary, thanks so much, man. I'm over here in Newark visiting with some friends. Actually, Herb Wong years ago put me in touch with Frank Mora, who's the band director at the jazz band at Menlo Atherton High School. And I've sort of had tenure over there, like as a clinician, and they've had me to Europe twice with them as a guest artist. And I'm here at his house tonight, and I'm in the backyard, sitting with the garden here, and waiting for your call. But I'm just so glad to be here. But tomorrow night, the CD is Monterey Live. It's released. I have Bill Cunliffe on piano with that on the CD, Ray Drummond on bass, and I have Akira Tana on the drums. And it's produced by Dr. Herb Wong, and I'll be on Wave Street Studios tomorrow at 4:30. Hopefully greeting people coming in, and it's sort of like a social event because I haven't got the band playing, but I'm gonna do some like demonstration on the music and talk to the people about jazz and sort of like questions and answers, and hopefully sign a lot of CDs and and
Will you
help
sign ours?
promote that.
yeah,
Will you,
what was
will you
that?
sign mine?
Sure will. What's your name?
that's Jules.
Oh, Jules.
Yeah, you called Gary Jules a moment ago, but you don't want to get them confused because one's a lot prettier than the other.
Gee, thanks.
He's
Two
handsome.
guys and one
Gary's
woman?
handsome. I don't, but
He's not supposed to be.
yeah, we don't want to get. Now, Greg, the whole thing is the event. I understand is $20, but you get a CD on top of it. Plus, you're going to autograph them all, and you also there's a lecture as well, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then you're going to play solo saxophone. And anybody that has seen Greg Abate in concert, stay about 5 feet away from, or at least 10 feet, because he comes out dripping wet by the end of his performance.
What time does it start, Gary?
Thanks for the warning, Gary.
What
It's
time?
it's
what
a
time?
definite. it's a physical act, isn't it? More or less. So when you perform, Greg, I mean, you really get into it.
I played sax in high school.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, but I wonder if that's right. I do what I feel, and I can't stop what I'm feeling.
Yeah, but you are dripping wet when you finish. Am I not right?
You are correct.
Yeah, I'm correct. I know I am. I've seen every one of your performances when you've been here.
Can you get a picture of that too? We'll put it on next week.
I mean, you know, and if you're standing if you're sitting 5 feet in a row, it is a very interactive experience.
You got to wear a poncho, right? One of those waterproof ponchos.
No, what I'm trying to get at is Greg puts his heart and soul into the music. He's from the hard bop era, which there are very few musicians that perform his type of music anymore. But it's very physical music. And he's adapted both the saxophone, alto saxophones, tenor saxophone, and flute. He's also a composer and arranger, and he tours all around the world. So
I did some of that in high school.
Saxophone?
Well, I'm having a good time too. I tell you, and meeting people. You know, I'm not just saying this, but I'm very an emotional type guy, and I really love life and people. And my music has brought me to you and all the people I haven't met here, speaking to Jules, and I'm just like so excited about what I do. Music is great, you know, and I'm high with it.
All right, we want to tell everybody.
Very high.
Excuse me for interrupting, Greg. We want to tell everybody that you'll be here for a 1-week stay at the Cal State University of Monterey Bay as a artist in residence and guest lecturer. You're also an adjunct professor at the Jazz Studies for Rhode Island College, and a representative of the Conn-Selmer Instrument Company. So. People will have an opportunity here in the Monterey Bay to see you for a week. You'll be at all the different schools, I believe York, Marina, Seaside, and I guess tomorrow you'll be at Wave Street Studios for the.
So it's $20.
Yeah.
And they get a signed CD.
Yep.
And what time does it start?
4:30.
4:30 tomorrow.
We'll be there. Greg, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the Wave Street Studios.
And I'm speaking to Jules and who?
You're speaking with Jules and Gary. There's two Garys
two
here.
Garys.
I'm the other
now
Gary.
I've got it. Now I've got it. Okay.
Okay, we'll see you mañana.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
4:30.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's past your
a lot.
bedtime. Get some rest.
That sounds like
Thanks a lot, Gary and Jules.
Bye, Greg.
I'm gonna
Love
start
you
calling
guys.
Jules.
Yeah.
All right, Greg. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye-bye,
Push the
thanks.
speaker button. There you go.
Okay. Gee,
Do you have a little wine there tonight?
maybe, no, who did?
Greg did
Oh,
maybe. I don't know.
Great.
It's about that time.
I've been drinking water. Since
not everybody's
since Gina
night-
was here, I only drink water.
Not everybody's night owls like us, so
That's
he
for
might
sure.
be by way
4:30 tomorrow, folks, down at Wave Street. If you
$20,
don't-
you get a show and you get a
And a
CD.
CD. If you don't know where Wave Street Studios is, tell them where it is, Gary.
It's right across the street from the Whaling Station restaurant on Wave Street, and you can't miss it. And it's
Beautiful
also
facility.
You give a John Napispo
Go ahead, bring it on,
commercial.
babe. Bring it on.
You give
Oh,
him
we
a commercial
finally got it.
for
Yeah,
John.
we gotta listen.
We have all these Italian
water
restaurateurs.
in there?
The one restaurant though that's tonight's sponsor, we have to give
Why
him
do I get
a
hungry?
plug. Is
We saved your
Alberto?
pizza.
He sponsors this hour. Have to take care of our sponsors. Do we have that commercial ready
Dave's
for
gonna play it.
Alberto? Okay, this
He's
is the
chef,
sponsor of this hour.
And he's Chef to the Stars.
Chef to the Stars. Everybody knows Alberto.
And then when we come back, we're gonna
all
have-
of the Iron Chefs and everyone were in his restaurant.
Oh, speaking of chefs, do you know who we almost, we always tell you who we have on and we have them on, but you know who we almost had on tonight?
Who?
Michelle.
Escargot.
Escapla.
What? Who?
You lost me.
No, he is such a famous, his grandfather
Oh.
was a famous chef in France. And he thought our show was on Friday night and had it all set up to come to our show. We're not here on Friday night.
We're not on Friday nights.
No, we're not.
We actually should have taped.
Escoffilet.
Oh, yeah.
Escoffilet.
We should have taped that. We
We're going to go to our next song and go find out how to pronounce his last name. And before that, we're going to go to Alberto's, and we're going to come back and talk to you about this really amazing chef that we met at the Food and Wine event. And he's going to come on our show at some point.
Okay.
We couldn't work it out
couldn't get him on this
weekend,
this
but
week. All right, let's go see Alberto, and then back to the music.
okay. What's next, babe?
The Alberto commercial
Well,
is
what's
next.
the song after that?
Who cares? Play the commercial. That was a very big hit for Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. You just saw the video, and before that, the video that we didn't know that was going to play next was Words by Missing Persons.
It's called
And
Words.
it's called Words by Missing Persons.
In 1982, and Catherine in our studio, our executive producer, was watching that video, and she said, "That looks like Lady Gaga." So
Yeah, well, that's how Lady Gaga figured
Diana's-
out how she was going to
that's
look.
what she said. Yeah.
You know, there is no original artist. I mean, they all are takeoffs on someone
And
else.
inspired by
They get
someone.
inspired by someone else.
But how isn't Lady Gaga? She's not like my generation, so she had to
She's
have gone back.
today's generation.
Right. Is Sarah's age? Sarah Nicole's
I
age
think
about?
she's, well, you know what? We'll go on Google
But
and I'll
Sarah's
let you know during the
cracking
next
Sarah.
break.
How old is she, Sarah?
How old is Lady Gaga? Does anyone in the studio know?
Gaga and Sarah Nicole in the same
Sarah said, "Don't use Lady Gaga and Sarah Nicole in the same name."
Same
We've
sentence.
got-
1986, she was born.
She was born in 1986. She's 2 years younger than Sarah, so she's about 24.
She's 2 years
24.
older than Sarah.
Older. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Well, we
right.
all know how old you are.
As long as you're over
Sarah.
21, honey.
Yeah, as long as you're over 21.
We want to thank you for watching, and we want to thank our viewers who sent us emails. James and Marlene are watching, and we've got Joyce send us an email and,
And
are
I'm
watching.
gonna challenge all our new viewers out there right now. If this is the first time you happen to be catching our show, Monterey on Tonight, we're live. We're here every Saturday night at 8 to midnight. Why don't you call a friend or email a friend and tell them to turn on Comcast Channel 19
And email us. Tell us you're watching.
and watch the rest of the show tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to have
Drawings.
Matt the waiter is going to be on. Sarah Nicole is going to be on.
And we have our drawing.
And we're going to have a drawing before we go
Giveaways.
off the air at midnight. So you guys still have a lot of local entertainment coming up right here on the show,
and-
besides us.
Right. And also, before we went to the songs, we were
Yes.
trying to pronounce
Yes, we were trying to
And so
pronounce
it's
the famous chef's name.
Escoffier.
Escoffier.
And there in France, there is a museum, and because of Michel Escoffier, who is in town at a special dinner tonight, he was going to be a guest on our show, but they had a special dinner, so we'll have to catch him another time. But his grandfather was the one who set the standard for all of French cooking, and influenced it so much that it's legendary.
And
So,
we met him at the Food and Wine Show, the Pebble Beach Food and Wine Show.
opening night.
The night I was standing around the Dom Perignon Champagne, he happened to walk up there.
He was hanging out there
He
too.
was hanging
he had the
out
same idea you did.
by the Dom Perignon, and so that's how we met, actually.
and we had no idea who he was.
We didn't know
you know,
he
you could
was
be
a famous chef.
and his grandfather as
His
well.
grandfather was a famous chef.
As well.
There were
So,
a lot of famous chefs at the Pebble Beach Food and Wine Show.
all in one place.
Yep, about 70 of them, I think.
It's just amazing. So,
You know, we're going to have to do a recap of how great that event
well, I'll tell you who's
was.
gonna need to come on is Dorothy.
Yes, we'll get Dorothy on
Dorothy
as a
to give us
guest.
the recap because she's going to give us all of the
She had to cater to all of those
grocery shopping lists.
egos, as they say, I'm sure, and do the grocery shopping.
Okay, I'll get in touch with her. We'll have her
Yeah,
on next
we'll have
week.
her on as a guest.
Okay.
Don't forget, call a friend, tell them to watch.
Call a friend.
Call a friend.
That sounds like a game show.
No, that's Regis when he used to be on Call a Friend.
Oh,
The
okay.
Millionaire Show.
Okay.
Phone a friend.
Oh, that's
what
it.
they used to say.
Okay.
Phone a friend. But you can call a friend and tell them to turn on our show. We're going to be here for another hour and 15 minutes.
And we have 2
20
more
minutes,
guests.
2 more guests and a lot more music videos.
What's next?
The next one coming up is New Order. This is Bizarre Love Triangle. And then we'll do
1986.
John Cougar and Hurts So Good.
And I'll tell you about that song when we come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, enjoy the music.
You know, this guy actually had 2 names.
Who?
The fellow that just sang this music video.
John Cougar.
He was John Cougar.
And
then he was John Cougar Mellencamp.
I had that album that was record.
Record.
And I played that thing.
Hurts So Good.
Yeah, there was a lot of songs on that. And you know what that song's about?
No.
Well, yes, you do, because you just read it to Matt. Of course you do.
Incidentally, folks, that's Matt the waiter.
Matt the waiter.
We're going to have Matt talk about a few things. Hurts So Good is a song.
It is?
From 1982 by the American singer-songwriter John Mellencamp. The song was a #2 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Hot 100. And then this guy, John Cougar Mellencamp, was performing in those days as just John Cougar
Okay.
before he became Mellencamp.
Okay.
The lyrics to this song discusses a man's midlife crisis. I didn't know that till right now. Wishing for the days when he, the man, was a young boy and how a love interest in a younger woman can bring happiness in his life. Now, that sounds familiar.
Oh, look at that.
How about that?
Wow.
John Cougar Mellencamp. Anyway, Matt.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello.
This is
You-
Matt the waiter.
Matt the
Hello,
waiter,
Matt the
and
waiter
Matt actually holds 2 jobs with our good friend Teeny Shake.
That's right.
At Teeny's Restaurants. Matt is over at Isabella's
Isabella's.
during lunch, so you can go in and get his autograph at
Please
lunchtime.
do.
You will need to after
After you hear him
tonight.
do a couple of these impressions,
I'm
and
expecting a long line of you.
yes, right, and you know Isabella's is on the wharf, and then in the evenings he's at Latitudes at Lovers Point,
Right.
right?
Yes, that's right. I serve food all day long, all the live long day.
All
Because
the-
people are hungry.
That's right.
They're
they
always
are.
hungry and they need sand dabs, and I'm there to provide them.
And you also give them a little comedy because you are the only waiter in the entire restaurant that does shtick.
Yes, I have to. Basically, if you want to, distract people from your horrible service and spilling an entire tray
You
of flan
don't
on
do
their
that.
child, something like that, you're gonna have to be funny.
No,
so
you
I'm
don't
gonna
do
try.
that. You are one of, besides Diana. Now Diana is here, and of course Jackie and Matt. But you guys really do a great job.
Jackie's watching, by the way.
Jackie's. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Can I say
right.
hi
Hi,
to
Jackie.
Jackie?
Yes.
Hi, Jackie. I'm
hi.
on television.
Yes.
And I have my apron.
We're going
Did
to
you bring
make.
your apron?
I have my. This is my apron.
You brought his
Oh,
apron.
you
Because
carry it with you.
Pretty much.
'Cause do you sleep with it at night?
I
honey?
do. It comforts me, and at least the people know that I'm always ready. Because if someone, you call
If they
them
call
Ari's.
you in, someone didn't show, they'd say, Matt, you got to come right now.
This is a bad signal. I live at Lovers Point Park
Do
in
you
a tree.
do you like sleep in your car?
No,
ready to
I
go?
live in a tree at Lovers Point Park, and I practice serving squirrels. This little plates.
They
of
don't tip so
lasagna.
good though. I don't think. do
Well,
they?
I have a collection of walnuts that says differently. So, never underestimate a furry woodland creature when it comes to gratuity. But so
See, this is what you get if you go into Latitude.
that's pretty much.
When we
Let's-
when we started the show,
yes.
I really was thinking it'd be great to put a little comedy. Just some
Well,
real good comedy.
very little. Here I am.
And here we. No, I think a lot of comedy, and
comedy.
all of this time, and you just keep it, just hidden for the people that you serve. And man, now we've got to share it with the world.
That's right.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
all
definitely.
of our viewers, Matt. And Matt came up with a great idea.
Actually,
for our
Diana
show.
did too.
Wait, was it Diana?
Diana and Matt. Diana had the idea, and she says Matt's the perfect
And
person
Matt would
for
be
it.
the one
Yeah.
that, because Matt is an amateur
Matt agreed.
photographer.
Yes,
So
thank you.
what he is doing,
An amateur?
well, he's not professional. Only if he gets paid to take pictures is he
Yeah.
a professional.
Oh, okay.
No, I've sold some to.
And
to
we're
the-
not paying him to take a picture. So
No,
he's an amateur photographer as far as this show's concerned.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. So now what we're going to do, and there's a prizer attached to this.
Prizer, I like that
Prizer
word.
attached to this.
We'd like we'd like to know how well you know Monterey.
That's right. The people that are watching tonight, if you can identify some of the photos that Matt's going to take, if you'll email us and you think you know the answer of what it is, then the next week, like on next week's show,
We're going to disclose where the photo was taken, and actually I'm going to post it on the website. So we're going to show you now in a few minutes. We're going to show you the photo, and you can go to our website kymbtv.com starting tomorrow, and it'll be there all week, so you can look at it and see if you can find where on the Monterey Peninsula this photo was taken.
Okay, and he's not going to drive too far outside the radius of the Monterey Peninsula
just
because
Matt, whatever it is, no squirrel.
gasoline
If I
is...
get too far from either of the restaurants, I get the shakes.
Yeah.
Oh, get it? Love you, Mr. Shake, Mr. Teeny Shake.
And what I was starting to
I
say
didn't even mean
is...
to do that. I apologize.
That was great. But what I was starting to say was, before Juliana interrupted me, was that
You
was that
interrupted me.
I did. I
No,
apologize.
no.
That's okay.
he's not going to
it's all my
drive.
fault.
He's not going to drive too far around the Monterey area because gasoline fuel is now $3.09 for regular
And the more you tip
unleaded.
him, the farther he'll go.
That's very true. If you want this to be a lot of fun, please go 21%, and I can do more for you. Go to where people don't necessarily go, like downtown Monterey. Well, no.
Is that Christopher Long?
I don't know who it is, but he's a man looking for a picture of something good that you won't recognize.
Dave, take a tight shot of Christopher.
This
will
is
you?
a tight shot of me with my click, with my camera to entertain you. So email in and discover the truth.
Oh,
It
well,
might be a tight shot of your favorite place, or maybe you're just not paying attention. Walk around, please pay attention. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is what I do to
it's
distract
great.
people. You
It's
know,
great.
you have
It's
a lap full of Chardonnay, you're gonna want to chuckle.
Okay, what we need now on the screen, Dave, is that photo.
Okay.
There it is, folks. Take a good look at that. Tell us by email. And Dave, can you also at the same time put our email address
You
on?
can't do
Can't
it.
do it. Can't
He's
do
not
it. No can do
mul-
right now. All
Yeah.
right. So what we'll do.
That's another switcher, honey.
That's all right.
That's on his wish list.
Okay.
The one that could put
Well, this
Technology's
This is a
everyone's
cheap
dream.
show, folks. Cheap show. So, okay, so that is what we need to know. If you know where it's located on the Monterey Peninsula, email us at the KYMB website. Just go to our website,
KYMBTV.com. Fill
and
out the form.
Fill out the form, and then if you are the lucky winner, next week you will get a prizer from us. We don't know what the prize is
Well,
going to
we're
be.
going to hit Teeny Shake Up for
But
whatever
we're going
it
to talk
is,
to
because-
Teeny and see what Teeny, either Latitudes or Isabella's, will give us as a prize for you identifying this landmark on the Monterey Peninsula.
So I don't know what
That's
you're doing
right.
next Saturday, but you got to, like,
now
come
you
out
got to
of
be
your
back
tree.
here because we don't
Okay,
know
yeah.
the answer.
I hope I remember.
Okay.
I'm going to have you write it
Now,
down.
will
that
you have
take-
another one for us
I
next
will.
week? Okay,
I will
so
definitely.
We'll have another
I'm gonna
one
go out
next
and
week.
about.
And so tomorrow you can check if you want to see that photo again. Check our website tomorrow.
It'll
and
be
we'll
on
have
the
a
website.
website up. And in any case, please show them the candy jar. Gary calls it the fishbowl.
The
but
fishbowl.
I keep candy in it. This is our contest for tonight.
Yes.
Send us an email through the feedback form, kymtv.com. We'll put your name in the drawing. We have all kinds of good giveaways. Pizzas,
We're
party
going to give
supplies,
a $25 gift certificate to
First Impressions Party Supply. We
tonight.
have 2 movie tickets
to
to
Lighthouse Cinemas.
Lighthouse Cinemas. Lots of giveaways.
So see, this is the only show that gives stuff away free here on the Monterey Peninsula. You don't get this at Channel 8. You don't get this at KION. No
Bash the
freebies there,
competition.
right?
I'm
We're
proud
going
of
to
you.
bash the competition.
Show your cojones.
We're the only guys that give stuff
But
away
you know what?
free.
We're also the only guys who will actually invite them on our show as guests.
That's right.
And you take them to lunch.
And we do.
So we are very nice to the company.
We
These are
are.
lovely
We're good to
people,
the
I know that.
competition. All right, let's get back to
Thank
the
you
music.
so
Thank
much.
you,
We'll
Matt.
see you
Thank
next
you
week.
very,
We're
very
going to
much,
get back
Mr.
to.
Chef.
Don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. Bon Jovi. Are you a Bon Jovi fan, Matt?
Yes, I am.
Did we
Okay, this is You Give Love a Bad Name.
Did we skip that one? Or are we
No,
playing that
we're
one?
playing Bon Jovi. Love You Give Love a Bad Name, and then we're going to do Heart.
Huh?
And What About Love?
We're skipping it? I told you, honey.
No, we're not
I don't like
skipping it.
Bon
Not
Jovi.
according to my list.
I don't. Well,
Not according to my list. We're not.
yeah, we're skipping it. I don't like Bon Jovi.
What
Next
song
song.
is queued up, Dave?
The next song after Bon Jovi, I guess.
Oh, Heart? What About Love? Okay, no Bon Jovi
Another
tonight
Heart
then,
song.
folks. That was Heart and What About Love? Great music video. You're watching Monterey on Tonight. I'm Gary.
I'm Jules.
We're here every Saturday night from 8 to midnight. It's now a couple of minutes after 11 o'clock. We're going into our Jose's Underground sponsored hour. Thank you to Alberto. And I understand from Dave that the Alberto commercial kind of
Was Hiccupy?
hiccupy. Yeah, it was. It had some jumps and jerks. So we'll have to
Figure out
find
what's going
what-
on. It
yeah.
might be the computer.
The computer didn't like it for some reason tonight.
Well, anyway, Jose's Underground is located on
Wave Street, right
one-
by Wave Studios.
Well, it's actually a little bit down the street, but it's 1 block up from Cannery Row.
Yes.
And they have music there all week.
They
and
have
great
live
food.
music, and it's called Jose's Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Then they also have a restaurant in Seaside Jose's in Seaside.
Broadway and Del Monte, right?
Broadway and Del Monte.
Really great Mexican food too there,
Yep,
huh?
yep. And we thank our sponsors for bringing our show to you. We couldn't do it without them, so please go in and support them. Me and Ed's, stop by and say hi to Akram. Great pizza. In fact, our studio audience tonight enjoyed the Me and Ed's pizza. It's all gone. And then from
It is all
and then from 9 to 10, our sponsor is Ola at the Barnyard in Carmel. 10 to 11 is Alberto from Alberto's Ristorante.
And then we
in
also have
Pacific Grove.
Teeny Shake sharing his waiter with
Yes,
us.
and now we have
Matt
a
the
new
waiter.
addition to our show. Matt's going to be back every week with a little photograph of something on the peninsula, so you folks can go to our website and let us know if you know where that was taken.
And then Teeny Shake will throw something in for the contest winner. And Matt, by the way,
yes,
shared with us during that
during our break.
During our break, that he is going to Los Angeles after the summer, early
Yes,
fall,
he is.
and to do stand-up comedy and
At
to
the
go to
comedy
school
club.
at the comedy club. So we are going to
Yes.
let him cut his teeth, as you say, here
That's
on the
right,
show.
absolutely.
And we'll be sure and have to get some autographs now before he ends up on Jay Leno. and
On the
David-
Tonight Show.
On the Tonight Show. He's on his way. He's a funny
Or maybe the George Lopez show, or maybe the new Conan
I
show
don't know.
on TBS.
I don't know. I was sad to hear he was leaving, but boy. And you know, if you go to Latitudes or Isabella, call ahead, find out where Matt's working, and ask to be seated in his section, and you'll get quite a show.
He is at Isabella's for lunch and Latitudes for dinner.
Right.
Isabella's on the wharf, Latitudes.
And
at
say you want Matt the
Lover's Point.
waiter.
Matt the waiter. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to the video, and then we're going to have Sarah Nicole here with our movie reviews. We heard from Heart and What About Love. Here's REM and It's the End of the World. Is there anything you want to say about that one?
Well, you know, we're not playing. We're
that?
playing the Hooters, honey. You can't use that list until
Ah,
I
you know
write
what?
no.
You know what? Jules is.
This is the Hooters, and we danced. And this group
Hooters.
is from
So we're not-
Philadelphia,
So we
Pennsylvania.
are not doing the REM tonight or Lita Ford, huh? We're going to do the Hooters now?
That's what we're doing, honey.
Ah.
1985.
You've been playing with my list. And the viewers are not going to be happy about it.
Well, then use my list.
No. Okay, I'll use your list.
We'll put this one over here, the Hooters, and we danced from 1985.
Here we are. And that was the Hooters.
And we danced.
And we danced from 1985. Right?
Right.
And we have Sarah Nicole with us.
I missed you
back from
guys.
Hollywood. How is everything down south?
Well, I was in San Diego. Not
you went to.
Hollywood.
Oh well, you know what? I thought.
I try
you-
to stay away from LA.
I thought you had gone down for an audition.
A big audition, actually, but that was
Oh.
kind of a secret.
Oh, that was
yeah,
a secret.
I'm gonna
We
be,
can't talk about that yet.
I'm gonna be in the next big movie that's coming out with Sandra Bullock.
Oh goodness!
She's telling
gracious.
stories.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think Sandra's gonna be in any movies anytime soon.
No, probably
I hope
not.
so. but-
Sarah's
Probably
pulling
not.
your leg.
No,
Well,
I
I
was
know.
down in San Diego, and I missed you guys. I was just doing some stuff down there. I have a second life down there.
You do. Another world down there in San Diego. Harley and you, right?
Yeah, Harley's getting big. She gained 7 pounds.
I noticed. You brought her
And
to the studio
since I
tonight.
got
she's
her.
she's getting to be a big doggy.
I've only had her for about a month, and she's gained 7. She was 8 pounds when I got her. Now she's like 15.
Wow.
So she's getting big.
She's going to be a big girl.
She's asleep. She was going to be on with you.
Yeah, I
but-
was gonna bring her
Yeah.
on, but she's sleeping over there in the chair.
Sarah is here
It's our
tonight,
bedtime.
as she always is when she's on the show, to talk about some of the movies
Yep.
that are on KYMB,
Yep.
this TV from the MGM archives, movie archives. And what is coming up this coming week, Sarah? Anything
Well,
that you would recommend that our viewers watch?
you know, I picked out a few movies that have some good actors in it.
Ah.
To be honest, I didn't recognize a whole lot of these movies, but that's the great thing, is that especially with my generation.
They're all new for you.
Yeah, it's bringing back movies that are old, well, from, the 80s, 90s.
But new to you.
New to me, and they have great actors in them, and they were really great movies.
So what do you recommend this week?
Well, first we have a reoccurring movie that's playing, well, first on Monday at 10 a.m.
It's called Operation Thunderbolt with Sybil Danning. Is that how you say that? Sybil Danning? Do you recognize that name? 'Cause
No, I don't.
Sybil Danning's also in Hercules with Lou Ferrigno.
Really? Now, those are names
Yeah.
that do not ring a bell
Well,
with moi.
Lou Ferrigno. I know I'm not saying correctly.
Ferrigno?
Yeah. Or,
Ferrigno?
Thank you. We're all saying it here. Was the fellow that played the Incredible Hulk? He
Oh,
in the Bill Bixby
him.
movie.
Are you thinking about Hercules? Because he's in Hercules.
That's because he was a muscly
So
guy.
he was both.
He painted.
Okay.
They painted him green for
Okay.
Incredible Hulk. Now, do you
He
recognize
was
him?
the original.
Hulk? Cool.
I
so,
see. Okay.
Sybil Danning plays in that movie Operation Thunderbolt Monday at 10 a.m. and then also Friday at 5 p.m. and then again at 7 p.m. Or Sybil Danning, I don't know if that's a he or she, to be honest.
It's a girl.
Is also in Hercules with Lou Ferrigno from 1983.
Have we got anything any better than that?
Better?
Oh, yes, I
It's
do.
a great movie. Okay, let's see. Well, we have Tuesday. You watch it and you see. You're going to like it.
All right, I'll watch.
Tuesday at 5 o'clock, we have Cadillac Man replaying at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Do you know who's in that?
No, but I remember the movie because it's about a used car salesman, right?
Cadillac
right?
Man? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
You don't know who's in it?
No, no.
Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams.
And then Tim
yeah,
Robbins.
Okay. And Tim Robbins. Okay, so now those are names
Yeah.
I recognize.
That's from 1990.
So what
It's a
day is that
comedy.
on?
Tuesday at 5 and then 7 again.
Okay.
So back
it
to back.
repeats, all right.
And then we do another back-to-back on Thursday. I picked out a Melanie Griffith movie and a Tommy Lee Jones movie.
Ooh.
It's Stormy Monday from 1988, which was a very special year.
Tell me what you know about Melanie Griffith.
Do you
I
know
think
who she
she's
is?
funny looking.
Yeah. Do you know who she was married to? Twice?
They got married twice.
Mhm.
Who was this?
Miami Vice? Does that ring a bell with you?
Do you know Miami Vice?
Isn't that a porn star?
No.
We're live TV, folks. Sarah.
Don Johnson.
Doesn't that sound like
Sarah,
Okay.
I got your lipstick all over my hand.
I'm sorry.
Live TV.
So okay. So
I
Melanie
asked.
Griffith was
Yep,
married
yep,
was
to
married
Don
to Johns. I
Johnson.
don't even like
And
saying
now
his name.
And he used to be in Miami Vice. That was before she was born.
And
so.
she's married now to.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, I like
No,
that.
she's
Sarah.
not.
Yes, she is. As a matter of fact, when Antonio Banderas
What?
did the movie with Madonna called Evita, Melanie Griffith showed up on the set all the time so that Madonna wouldn't steal her from him from her. Yes.
Antonio Banderas.
yes.
Oh,
She's
absolutely
funny
true.
looking, though.
Good
Kidding.
catch.
She's really funny. I like
Good
her.
catch. Who?
Yeah, Melanie's sweet.
Oh, you like Melanie.
But
You know, her best movie was Working Girl.
I know I like with Harrison Ford.
Yes, that was a
That's
great
a movie
movie.
you should see.
No, I've seen that.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Harrison
Okay.
Ford.
When did that come
Don't
out?
we have Lloyd Bridges on this week too? On there?
Well, anyways, that was Stormy Monday on Thursday at 5 and 7 with Melanie Griffith and Tommy Lee Jones from '88. Who?
We have Lloyd Bridges, Dennis Hopper, Joe Pesci on this week.
We do?
All this week.
Really?
Yep.
How do you know?
Because I'm looking at
Oh,
it
you're
right
looking at
now.
the
There are
schedule.
some. Yep.
So if you have any interest in promoting a business or maybe
Rob
just
Lowe.
something else.
And
Hello.
And who?
Hello, Rob Lowe.
He is in
Rob
Bad
Lowe.
Influence on Monday at 11.
Ah,
Yeah, that sounds
so
about right.
so there's Sarah's picks for the week. Do you have any picks for the week, Jules?
I do.
You
I
wanna-
think I'm tired.
Well,
It's past my
no,
bedtime.
you
I
did
never
a good-
come on this
My
I know, you
my
haven't been
pick of
on
the
this
week
late.
is The Outer Limits, playing every night at 1 a.m.
The Outer
I
Limits.
love The Outer Limits.
But not tonight, because tonight it's Coastal Television
Yes, Coastal
Network.
Night is. Yes,
For locals only, with Gary Hamada, and we didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to Gary.
Bye,
He just-
Gary. He's probably home
he
watching.
said bye.
He just
Yeah, he said
zipped
bye.
out of here, and he's going to be down at Wave Street tomorrow, studios.
4:30.
What's
With
going on at
Greg.
Wave Street?
Greg is going to be there. Music, $20, and a Avante, and an album, a personally signed album.
And
Great.
then a performance.
And you get to see the performance, Wave Street Studio, and be on TV because
It's
they're going to have the
jazz.
cameras going too.
He's a saxophone player and
Yep,
flute
that's
player.
and just a great.
Did you know I played saxophone in high school?
You told me that.
And clarinet and flute.
You told me that.
That was back
Anything
in-
else?
I did.
They're learning
I
about
did.
each other.
I did.
How long have you been married?
Well, this is why we do the show, because we talk about things here we don't usually talk about at home.
Right.
The trumpet. I crossed over to the.
You know what would
played
really
a
be
recorder
fun?
one
You know,
time.
No.
you know what would really be fun is if we get Jules to play those instruments on this show.
You know how long high school? You know how long back high
That's a
school
long
was?
time ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That was
but
like
you know
10
what they
years
say.
ago.
Your
Don't lie.
embouchure.
But they say after you learn how to play a
Yeah, but
musical
you
instrument.
lose all of that muscle tone because
Oh.
all of that hair is toned
Well,
by playing it. It's like
really?
like exercising. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah, I'll pull out one of my tapes
Okay.
from back then. How about
Videotape or audio tape?
that? VH beta.
Beta
We
tape.
have no machine to play it. Oh,
Oh,
too bad.
That's right. Too bad.
I actually do. have
That's
beta.
before you were born.
Did you know there was VHS and beta?
Yes,
No,
I
don't-
knew there was VHS and
Don't
beta.
do this to her now. That's you're going back in the archives.
Okay.
Anyway, Sarah, anything else coming up that you can think of this coming week?
This week, lots of great appointments.
Oh, good.
Lots of great interviews and celebrities and
Great. Okay. Super.
TV appearances and lots coming from Sarah Nicole.
Sarah's on our Coastal Television Network. She is our on-air host.
Lots of money coming in.
Yep. Good for you.
Lots of money.
And if anyone out there in TV land wants
totally
Sarah,
pulling our leg.
yeah, if they want Sarah at their business to do an interview, let us know.
She does these. Oh, Doug's waving.
Doug's
okay,
waving.
You're gonna be
Monterey
on the
movie
next movie
tours.
tour.
Okay, I want to come on the movie tour bus.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Super.
And Harley.
Dogs are allowed on the Monterey movie tours. So
Only
Sarah
Sarah
Nichols.
Nichols.
I'm like Paris Hilton with my little dog. Except I would
Thanks
never.
a lot for coming on.
Thank you so much for coming on. Now your mom would not let me play.
Just say what I
Motley
wouldn't.
Crue.
I feel like I should have a pick.
I know.
I want to pick one.
Well, you know what? You're welcome to look at my list because it has all of the videos
Because I wanted
on
the
my list.
that last one to play that you didn't want to play.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
REM.
there's a
Yeah,
reason
maybe
why.
we can do that next week.
Anyway, it's the.
But here's a video that we've already featured here on our show in the past. This is a fella by the name of Robert Palmer who, at 54 years of age, passed away of a heart attack. Can you believe that at 54? And he recorded Addicted to Love, and he also recorded this one. So let's see if you remember this one. We are back. I told you it was 3 videos, and everybody is arguing with me. No, it's not.
It's My Life by Talk Talk, 1984.
Right. And before that,
Was Freeze Frame with
Right.
the J. Giles Band.
and before
from
that
1981.
was...
Robert Palmer, 1988. That's 3
They're
songs.
all looking at me like I don't know what I'm doing. Even our producer.
Gary knows.
Even our producer was saying, no, it's
We
only
have a
2.
lot of fun
Only
here.
2
When the
videos.
songs come on, all chaos breaks loose around here. Anyway,
You can say that word.
why?
Well, you can.
That's
Breaks loose.
But yeah,
Chaos breaks loose.
Okay.
Anyway, folks, we're having a ball tonight.
We
We've had a
are.
crazy night here. We had a studio full of interesting people.
lots of people were here in our green room. It's just
We even
amazing.
had Sean O'Callahan show up.
Sean O'Callahan. We had
And
Tom
we
and
didn't
Beth
have him on the
Hamill.
air. We have to have him on the air.
That sounds good.
Yeah. It's a disc jockey friend who, do they still call them disc jockeys?
They call
They're
them
radio
radio
personalities.
personalities.
Now. They don't call them disc jockeys anymore because there are no discs.
He's
They're
got
all
a nice
CDs.
voice too.
Yeah, he's, what are you doing way over there? She's the one that always
was
says,
turning into your
Oh, I
audience.
see. Okay, well, you want me to sit like this then? I can sit like
He's
this.
so razzing me tonight. I don't know what it is. What we gave you to eat or to drink,
no,
I
really,
have no
I'm having
idea.
a ball. Anyway, I was talking about Sean,
Yes.
and Sean is a radio personality formerly on 6:30 a.m. KIDD, and they changed their format. They're owned by the same people that own K-Wave Radio. And, you know, there was a big brouhaha when they took off those really big band
Bruja?
brouhaha, you know.
You ever heard
People
that
were
word?
upset
Okay. That
when they took off the old big band music.
When did they do that?
Sinatra and, you know,
When
Dean
was that?
Martin. Oh, that was a couple of years ago, I guess.
Was he on?
He used to be on 6:30 when they did that. And then they
okay.
put on rock and roll for a while, and then they moved the rock and roll to the FM station, and now they've got ESPN Sports on that station,
Okay.
but it's the same, sports news
So
as
where's
you get
Sean
from
O'Callahan
KNBR.
now?
Sean was in our studio right here
I
tonight.
meant where's he on the radio?
He just left our studio a little
That's
bit
not
ago.
what I mean.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no, he's
You're so pulling my
he's
leg
out there
tonight.
in broadcast land somewhere, and we'll find out when we have him on
Okay.
our show. And we're
Okay.
gonna, you know who else we're gonna have on our show?
No.
Jim Vossen. Do you know who he is?
Yes, I know who he is.
Jim is the general manager and does radio shows over at KNRY, where Gina.
Are we like
Renee is
turning our
from.
TV station to a radio station? We've
Well,
got all of these great
we really
radio
should, because there's so
personalities.
many great radio personalities here on the Monterey Peninsula. They should all be doing television shows.
as well. Actually, put a camera in their radio studio.
And you know what? Why shouldn't they? Because we've got the channels for them
That's
to
what
do
IMUS.
radio on. That's right, radio
IMUS
on
does it.
television. It's always been something that I thought radio people should do, is be on TV.
It's 11:35 and
Do you know where
very-
your children are?
Do you know where you are?
We're
Do
here
we know
at the
where we are?
KYMB studios.
And we are going to have our drawing very soon. So if you haven't gone to our website, kymbtv.com, there's a feedback form.
We will put your
And we've had
email
several
in
come in. Thank you, thank you,
in
thank
the
you.
fishbowl.
Joy emailed us. She's watching.
again.
Yes.
Great.
We've
I
got
think
quite a.
She's going on to
and
be
we
our
know
best
that there's
fan.
viewers out there who haven't contacted us yet. We really would love to hear from you, because it lets us know if you like the music or if there's something else you'd like to see. I know we're going to be moving on to another generation here in a couple of months, but it lets us know where you're watching from.
But no hip hop,
Why do you say that?
because
What
no
happens
hip
to the
hop.
people that like hip hop?
Sorry.
Then they're going to be
Not
all
here.
upset. And no
Sorry.
hard rock either.
Well, no, Motley Crue is
That's hard rock, honey. Unless
well,
they're doing a power ballad where it's,
a
that.
power ballad.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
the
what
new
that is.
MTV term. Okay.
So
and
anyway, what else is happening? Oh, you know what? Dave just reminded me.
What?
One of the biggest things that's happening this weekend on the Monterey Peninsula is the Sea Otter Classic.
Oh, it is. big.
And we forgot to talk about that.
You know why?
Why did we forget?
Because we weren't going to date this show in case we ever got sick. We were going to play the show. And
Sorry about that.
Now
oh,
we
well,
just dated it.
Those of you that are watching the show as a repeat for the second time, forget that, because this isn't happening and it's not April. Okay. Did I fix it?
Yeah, you
Oh,
fixed
I fixed
it.
it. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. What do you have about the sea otter?
No, I just wanted
You've
to
already-
tell everybody that it's going on, and the folks that are riding their bikes, they can enjoy trails of the BLM four-door public lands. 10 and 20-mile loops are both a combination of single track.
Sarah
Fire
Nicole
road trails.
planted trees there.
She did?
Yep, they had a volunteer day, and if you volunteered, you got Disneyland tickets, and that's where she went and planted
cool.
trees.
Specialized mountain bike tour, the Sea Otter Classic. And
Is it
it's
gonna
over
rain?
tomorrow. No, it's not going to rain till Monday or Tuesday. We have
Okay.
to do that. We have to do our weather report.
Well, that
before we-
dates the show.
That's okay.
That's
We're
why we were-
already dated now, so what's the difference?
I know, I'm kidding.
But we have to do the weather report. It's
So
supposed
anyway,
to rain Monday and Tuesday.
everyone, if just remind everybody, enter the drawing. We're giving
Yes,
away
please.
$25 gift certificate to First Impressions Party and Supplies, and a
And
couple
you
of
know-
movie tickets to Lighthouse Cinemas, and pizza. And what else are we giving away?
First Impressions.
I said that.
Pizza.
I said that.
$25 gift certificate to Alberto's. Do
No,
we have
that's
one
not.
of those? No,
that's not this
tonight.
week. That's
okay,
next. Okay.
That's next week.
Okay. And then also we had a special contest that we started tonight.
Lighthouse.
I said that, movie
Okay,
tickets.
Sorry.
It's okay. We have a new contest. It's a photo contest, and we had Matt on earlier, who is Matt the waiter from Latitudes and Isabella's, and he took a photo of there's the photo right here. Thank you, Dave Johnson, our engineer. This is located somewhere in Monterey. And if you send us a note through our feedback form on kymbtv.com, let us know where this is at. We have a special prize for that we're going to give away next week. And tomorrow this photo will be up on our website so that you'll be able to go back to it and look to it. But we're hoping to get our viewers more familiar with what's around that we drive by all the time, we walk by all the time, and
we
just
don't
start
even know
looking
that it's
closer.
there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be
Okay.
a fun contest we're doing.
Okay, Jules.
Okay, Gary, what's next?
Well, according to my list, but
No.
it's been wrong
I
tonight.
thought I threw that list away, honey.
Let
Actually, I did
let me
pick
ask
enough.
you if this is
Okay.
correct, and then you can say no, it's not correct.
I'm listening.
We had Robert Palmer, Simply Irresistible.
Yes.
We had Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame. We had Talk Talk, It's My Life. And according to my list, Human League
Yes.
is next.
This was
with
big.
Don't
when
You Want Me?
1981, and then after that we have Rock This Town by the Stray Cats. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
And that was released in 1982.
That's about all we can do, and then we'll have our drawing, and then we'll probably be just about
and then we'll switch
ready
to
to go off
Coastal
the air. Coastal
TV Network will be
So
on.
let's go right now, Dave. That was Bryan Adams and Heaven. Great music video from the 80s.
That was actually 1985, April, and the drummer of Bryan Adams had to step out to go do something for Hall & Oates when they recorded that song. So Journey's drummer, Steve Smith, was there. So that's actually the drummer for that song.
And someone from our viewing audience sent us an email just a few minutes ago that said that Jay Giles was dating
Faye Dunaway.
Dunaway
when that freeze frame.
When the freeze frame video was made.
So we got our drawing now?
We're going to have our drawing. We're going to do 3 tonight. So Catherine, our producer, yes,
you can have.
You can have, and here's there's one of those.
Okay.
So Catherine, come on in.
So the first winner is for $25 gift certificate to First Impressions Party Supply.
So reach down there in the fishbowl and let's see whose name we draw out for tonight.
Here's the first one.
First one, okay. The first one tonight is Lynn and Dale Rackley.
Wow.
Do you know them?
They emailed us last week. They were the ones who told us about the medfly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the medflies. In fact, I went on the internet to read about the medflies. I didn't realize how far back the medflies went. And
well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you guys for sending us that email about the medflies.
The next one is a large pizza from Me and Ed's.
A large 3-topping pizza from Me and Ed's.
Courtesy of Akram.
Courtesy of Akram. And the winner for that is James Kruger.
Yay.
From Marina.
James, he attended our KYMB get-together.
How about that?
Okay, congratulations.
And one more tonight. How about that? We have 3.
And this is for 2 tickets to Lighthouse Cinemas.
2 tickets to Lighthouse Cinemas. Go and catch the great movies over there at the Lighthouse. And who is this one? Thank you very much, Catherine. And this is Taylor.
From Carmel.
From Carmel. How did you know? You saw, well, you're the one.
I'm looking at you.
No, but I know you're the one that writes all of these. Yeah.
I printed them.
She prints them out and.
So when you say Taylor, I know he's Carmel because I read them. Okay, congratulations, Taylor. Thank you for watching.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, folks, for watching Monterey on Tonight. We're going to wind it up. We have about how many more minutes? About 7 or 8 minutes.
And
Dave,
I've got to go.
How long is that last video that we're going to play tonight? That David. 408.
Oh, and the next song is
David Bowie.
David Bowie. Let's Dance. As a matter of fact,
we're going to
Taylor's comment was play some Bowie.
Oh, well,
it's just so coincidental
about that
the winner is.
The winner said play some Bowie. We're going to play some Bowie going out tonight. Thank you so much, folks, for watching our little show here. We're here every Saturday night.
8 to midnight.
8 to midnight. Hopefully we play some of the music that you guys want to see. You haven't seen them for years, and maybe some of you have never seen them at all.
And then at midnight, we switch to Coastal TV Network, which is a sample of our programming that we air in 6 markets throughout California to promote tourism to our Monterey Peninsula and also education.
And we're always looking for new sponsors, advertisers for not only KYMB, but our Coastal TV Network.
And also for the MGM Movie Studios, this TV network. You can have your business promoted in between movie stars.
You know, we're a new TV station in town. We've only been on the air here on cable since the 4th of February.
And perhaps you have an idea for a show and you would like to have a show. And if that's the case, we do have some airtime in the mornings and afternoons.
We do, available. So they can email us or they can go to the phone book or to Google and find our 899-2727 phone number, area code 831. Give us a call. And hopefully we'll be able to accommodate them with time for their own show, sponsorships, or whatever.
Right. So thank you again for watching, and we're going to go to... This
David
is a
Bowie.
great song.
Not yet?
Not yet. Dave says... Dave says keep going. Keep going.
Well, we've got a minute.
Why don't you put up our website?
Yeah, do our
KYMB
website,
TV.
and then we'll say bye-bye. There's the website. Email us at kymbtv.com.
And remember what Gina Renee said on our show tonight. Drink water. She's our health
Lots
tip.
of water. She's
Lots
our
of
health
water.
tip. She's on the
And
radio.
what Captain Pearlstein, one of our other guests that we had, don't text and drive, and don't talk on your phone and drive.
See all the things you learn by watching this show?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay. Good night, everybody. Well, no, I want to say good night to you first. Good night, Jules.
Good night, Gary.
And
good
night,
everyone.
everybody.
See you next week.